Now, I made an immaculate city, and I've condensed 20 plus hours of gameplay into 3.5 hours of the most important and cool things. A massive, massive industry area, centralized defensive storage area, decorated inner courtyards, every wonder in the game, and 8 specialized districts with sub-districts for population. But each one of these districts has its own unique inner courtyard that I tried out a ton of different designs. Now, what was kind of cool about this is I rushed one of the original wonders, Civic Monument, and that allowed me to use only the best decorations in the game. So let us begin the story of this insane build. The year is 1300. The Great Famine has emptied fields and broken kingdoms. Across the wide plains of Lombardy, 3 families abandoned their dying village and set forth with nothing but hope. One night, as despair weighed heavy, their leader, Giovanni, wandered the fields in prayer. There he beheld a wonder, a bush consumed by fire, yet unburned. From the flames came a voice that said,
"Endure, and from this place shall rise a city of prosperity."
At dawn, Giovanni told the families, and they swore to remain. Upon that soil they built shacks of timber and thatch, fragile against the wind, exposed to bandits and lords who demanded tribute. Yet they endured, their faith bound to Giovanni's vision. Season by season, struggle gave way to growth. Grain returned to the earth. Merchants arrived with spices and weapons from around the world. Walls rose against raiders. A temple was raised to Saint Ambrose, protector of the plains, and pilgrims soon followed. What began as hunger became abundance. From hovels grew markets. From markets grew halls of learning. And whispers spread of a new age of beauty and knowledge. This is where the city begins, from starving settlers on the open plains to a city of trade, spirituality, and renown, a bastion destined to rise with the coming Renaissance. Alright, this is a great map. Infinite stone, infinite clay, and to the right we have infinite iron and infinite coal. Now, our starting resources are scarce, but we have infinite sand right here as well. So we have everything we need to create a sustained colony and a sustained, large, and prosperous empire. That means that this is going to be our starting area. Alright, first things first, let's get some trees so we can build our first areas and our first infrastructure. So the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we are getting a firewood splitter up, a well, they get thirsty real fast, and food production. We're going to get ourselves up a hunter cabin and a forager shack. So we have a nice area here with eggs, greens, and, ooh, looks like some nuts. I like how I said that. Ooh, looks like some nuts. Yeah, that's a great catchphrase. Initially, until you get your guild hall up, those deep core mines really suck. So there are 3 skill points we can put into this, the deep mine ventilation. Each tier of this gives 15%, total of 45% mining speed at the deep mines. And if we get a guild hall up, we can get up to another 30% bonus there. So long-term play, you can actually make the deep core mines work now. And that's pretty new to 1.0. We're going to need the harvest the stone as fast as possible. You start with a bit of storage, a bit of food, a bit of arrows, and, some bows. You get 5 swords, which is actually quite a bit on the normal difficulty. Now, when you play on the normal difficulty, you can build pretty much anything that you want. Vanquisher I have played an enormous amount of, and it is fun, but it really limits the creativity of the build. And so with this, I'm going to be showing some pretty cool concepts. I have a 16-house market that is just immaculate with gardens and all types of stuff. It's a little bit more intense, and then we'll have our common areas. We're going to make a city that is varied and has multiple types of districts. Alright, let's move this down over here where there's more deer. We've got 2 deer spawns there. That should bring us in some food. Now, we want this to last a long time, so you need to take that meat and build the smokehouse. The smokehouse then turns the meat into smoked meat, which lasts way long. Next thing we need to do is get some houses up. So I'm kind of making this up as I go. But there are some general themes that you can kind of be aware of. Is one, that you're going to fortify your inner town center, your storage for the raiders, and you want it to be cool. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm going to place the housing all the way over here. I think we're going to try to do some more decorative type things, try to make it look cooler. What we're going to use in this design is a 5x5. So we're going to build 5 houses. And in this, what's cool is in the center, you basically have 3x3s throughout the center of it that you can fill with gardens. You can put a temple. You can put a small park. Anything that you want. You can make it unique in that way. We're also going to have fencing around the whole thing. I think we're going to have an outer tier of decorations, then fencing, and then a road. So this is going to be where the road starts. Beautiful. Industry is going to kind of flow up into this area over here. And we should look at farming, where we're going to place our farms. Now, the way the game works, I've explained before, the closer all your farmers are together, the more synergy they have. When a farmer is done, he will go to the next farm and help out with work there. So if you keep your farms all clustered together, you can get this insane efficiency. You can get away with way less workers than you normally would need. Now, we can see that low fertility of 42%, not great. We can actually make that work. It's not terrible. 42% is not bad. If you know what you're doing, you can make it work pretty well. So this whole area that I'm building the housing in, of course, is the best place for farmland. And I'm cool with that. That's fine. This area over here, really good. This is probably where we're going to place our farms. What's great about this spot, too, is it's parallel to industry. I like that a lot. So we'll have our farming, we'll have our industry. It will all kind of be a synergy here. We could do our windmills and everything in between this area. So right here, off the bat, I know this is going to be the happening place for farming. So I think we're going to start our farming right about here, which means that I need to eyeball this. And yeah, we'll put the road like so. And just a little tip. When you're building through these areas like this, and you're not sure if you have a crooked road, if you hold shift, it automatically puts out a straight line. So you don't have to eyeball it or worry about it. Just hold shift. You'll hit straight roads every time. All right, let's cut down all these trees. That is so many freaking deer. And we'll kick all these deer out. It's not too hard to do. We're definitely going to want to fence all this in as well. We may move the town center into the middle of this area. 19. Okay, so there's 19. So we're going to go 9 tiles here. 1 tile over, and then 9 tiles. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we'll do a little gap. All right. I want to try to get some angles in this design and see what we can do with it. What's kind of cool is we can try doing a little bit more sideways stuff. Like, we could have industry going sideways now. There we go. I like that. We'll branch out a little differently. There we are. Okay, cool. All right, let's speed this up, get these houses built out. And our first farms are going to come down this long line. We're going to have a lot of farms. I think I'm going to get a well, actually, right here. And we'll surround it with trees to give it that bonus to water accumulation. Actually thinking we might do like a bunch of houses here. That'd be kind of cool. Have industry here. This will be like the common area right here. And this middle ground here. Not bad. Someone died to the cold. I don't know why. We have plenty of firewood. They just sat outside and died. Guess that's the fun thing to do. All right. So the first points I honestly like to put into hygiene and natural philosophy. So 25% reduction in the chance and spread of disease, basically. And a 20% increase in your base knowledge generation. That's going to help you out tremendously. We're definitely going to start doing our farms as quickly as possible. We want to make sure that we can expand very efficiently, and you're going to need farms for that. Now, we're going to need space for fencing. We'll do an angular fence here. And I think we're going to start right here. So we're going to do a 12 by 12. We're just going to go straight into the big stuff. Go 12 by 12 right off the bat. And this is going to be great. I have some really good ideas for all this. I can't wait to show you the 5x5. It's so cool looking. So realistically, our village is actually kind of more like angled this way, right? We got industry, we got farming. I like to keep my farming on the south. It's just like a personal preference. But for some reason, I like this, the way this is angled here. That's going to be hard for me to pick a direction. But yeah, the village is going to be kind of like this. Central location here is going to be a palace, decorations, temples. All the big boy stuff is going to go in the middle here. Have the farming, have the markets kind of like so. And then we'll have different areas, different housing areas. We're just going to naturally expand all of this. All right, we got ourselves a knowledge point. Let's put this somewhere useful. I really actually like spotters. The 20% view distance in the early stages of the game, really beneficial. Just being able to see where more resources are. Like, now I know there's an excavation site over here. Now I see that there's a salvage site over here. Now I can send people to explore, which is also wise. But it's just really nice to be able to see at a long distance. Also, in the later stages when you're attacked, being able to see where the enemy actually is. Even though you do have those nice little arrows, it's nice to be able to see the numbers that are coming at you so you can send your forces and know how to best position your defenses. Especially when you're building on a flat map like this, where barracks and the armies are going to be incredibly important. Places might get trashed, essentially. So we're going to have fortified areas, walls within walls, palaces. It's going to be great. And I can see right here we're going to have our iron area. So we do need to kind of level this area out. I'm just going to put a small section around it. We'll do the same thing over here. Kind of interesting building at angles like this. It's a little different. There we go. Alright, so now that we know actually where things are going to be going, we're going to have housing over here. We can get away with quite a bit. So it's going to be interesting to place buildings because they're all kind of sideways, right? So this will be cool though. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have sideways streets like this. And it's going to be really unique in that regard. Now the hunter cabin I'm going to actually put over here on the upper side of the farm. And this well, we can now actually move over here. I think this is a beautiful spot for it. And what we really need is some awesome storage. Now, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily space efficient, but it's, you know, cool efficient, right? So I think right here we can place, oh, look at that. That's perfect. A bunch of stockyards. And then we'll get a road like so. This is going to be a really interesting design. I can already tell. And probably put another firewood splitter over here at some point. And some point is now. So what's kind of cool is you don't have to build everything. You can just place it and then disable construction. So if you have an idea of where something should go, it's a good way to do it. And then we have all these open areas. I always like to plant trees, but we can do that at a later stage, the beautification stage. But we're going to get all of our storage up right here. Now, the main honcho, we're going to get ourselves up a storehouse right next to it. And all this is going to be moved and centralized, our palace. This is going to be a grand garden area right here. We'll probably put a large park, like right here. I mean, we could also put the temple right here. That would look so cool. The temple will have benches and decorations. And I'm thinking if the farm is here and we're going to have everything else, we got to make sure we leave room for the fencing. We could actually put the root cellars all right here above the farm fields. And potentially even a better spot would be kind of right here in the middle of all this area over here. Have like a great storage cellar area with shrines and all types of cool stuff. But the goal of this is to just make things that look a little bit sharper. We're at 17 and 20 pop. We're going to want a couple more houses. And we're going to have a 2-tile gap. One for the fence, one for decorations. And we'll have our marketplace in between. Now the marketplace is actually going to go on this side. So we're going to have about 2 of them. And this will be more residentials this way. Let's continue everything we have going on here. Let's actually just get out the houses that we're going to need. All right. There we go. All right, so this is our 4x4 area. So this will be 4 tiles wide, and we'll put the market and the bakery and some other stuff here. Once we get the storehouse and the saw pit down, we can get our first market. The saw pits are going to go right here. Oh, look at that. We can get 3 of them. We're definitely going to have 3 at some point because of the money. Money good. You make a lot of money off boards. There we go. Phase road. Oh, yeah. Look at that. 7 people. Perfection. Now, food's going to be an issue. We got to get this farm up. And because food is now going to be an issue, we should probably just get a second hunter's cabin up. And we're going to prioritize that. And we do have a lot of trees for them to cut down. We do have 6 laborers. We have 8 people on the farm. We're going to manually control this because we have too many people on the farm. And it's winter. So let's get them cutting down some trees. And we're going to have 2 wells. We're going to have a marketplace. And we're going to have a bakery in the 4x4 area. So it's going to look really cool. The school and all that is going to go in the middle 4x4 area. with the market and some other stuff. Or actually, the school. I'll have to play that one by ear. I might put the school right here, because we're not going to be able to do parallel wells, because they need to be about 6 or 7 tiles apart. Or otherwise you get a water penalty. That's really not great. Alright, 2 hunters should really help balance things here. Make sure that we're crisscrossing. We got plenty of deer. Nice, we're getting a little bit of stone. And we need to bury that body, because that will cause disease spread. And I think we'll put the graveyard over here for now. And yeah, the storehouse and the town center are all going to be centralized in a massive fortified position. And that fortified position will grant some protection to the area around it. All right, let's put some people back into the farming. All right, we got a wolf over here who's going to town. Oh, no. All right, so she's going to die because we don't have a healer hut. All right, they got it. And yeah, that's going to happen. So we got some wolves down here. Might need to get a hunter over here. I think we're just going to do it. I'm going to get a hunter right here. Just to have a little bit of southern protection, because we don't want to lose people right now. Not in this stage. We don't have enough. We do not have a high enough population. And we got 2 tech points. This one's actually not bad. 10% the trees. Just cutting them down. Pretty good one. We, on the other hand, though, are going to go into 15% speed of farmers in the fields. And sustainable farming right here. And then after that, we need to transition into getting ready to get a forester up. So I want to get a little bit of farming stuff going. But then, yeah, after that, we got to go into our forestry. And they keep changing the tech tree. So I got to, like, refine everything. Oh, it's up this tree right here, starting in silviculture. And then we'll go into forestry and sustainable forestry. Perfect. I'm gonna cancel this out. Oh, we don't have enough tech invested. So we need to have a tier 2 town or 9 knowledge points. We're gonna save this because we can go straight into forestry if we're smart that way. Let's just hold off. I'm glad that they tell you now, because they used to not tell you what you needed to do. So it's either tier or knowledge point. So you're not capped if you don't upgrade. So that's pretty cool. All right, we got boards going now. So the next goal is to get up the market. And I think we place it... I may need to do one little thing here. I think we need to pull this one tile over. So... we'll just have the decorations and not the fence on that side. I think that'll be fine. The fence will still encapsulate the entire design, but I can tell right now it's not going to fit. Yeah, I can actually tell that we just won't even be able to have decorations on this one side if I want to get this to work. It's going to look really cool if I do it correctly, and so it's worth it. There we go. That's going to work. And we can move this around and see how we want to do it. But at a minimum, we're going to place a well right here and right here. And then we're going to surround it in trees. Later point. But that gives us enough room. Oh, we have more than enough room for a school and a bakery here. That's perfect. And the farm is about to get up. Wonderful. So right here, I think, is the temple. Is where the temple's gonna go. It slightly aligns with everything. A little off because it's three tiles. Well, that don't make no sense, right? Let's align it. All right. That's 5, 5, 5. There we go. Ah, it's 4 tiles. That's the problem. That's okay. We'll figure it out later. Need to know how I want to position everything so that I can align the temple with this area. Okay, so we got this going. We're going to do the classic tried and true. Do it in the fields. Some clovers and some peas. The dude in the field gets rid of weeds and rockiness. Clovers will give us a little bit of fertility. The peas will actually give us a little bit of fertility. And yeah, six workers is about optimal for this. Dang, 6 more people. All right, we're at 30, which means we can upgrade to tier 2 once we get enough stone and boards. So we're gonna need to get a Fletcher up here pretty soon too. That influx of people is quite amazing. All right, when we upgrade this, we'll hit the remaining houses. Kind of sucks right now because we do need the money. So I'm gonna move these gents over here just for the time being. Just get the money collected. We are gonna do a firewood cap of 750 just for now. And we're running out of arrows already. Not good. All right, Fletcher Town. Now, the Fletcher and all that, this stuff really should be built around the area where storage is going to be. So, I think we want to centralize things in a really smart way. We want to make sure we have enough room for the theater. This area right here, I think is pretty optimal. Jeez Louise, man, we got boars, we got bears, we got everybody out here trying to eat us. I think this is a good spot for like Fletchers and things like that. We can stack them side by side. Okay, we got ourselves an issue. This bear on a mission to terrorize the neighborhood. Let's go get him. That's not a bear, that's a wolf. That is a big wolf. Ooh, that's like a monster wolf, man. That thing was nasty. Alright, we're gonna go back to autofill positions. There we go, loot acquired. We got ourselves another knowledge point, some swords, some boards, perfection. We're getting close now. Okay, well now that we actually have some cash, let's go all the way into taxation. We need a few more points. I think we have more than enough points. We're gonna increase farm worker speed. We're gonna increase 25% fertility loss. Negative, yeah, that's great. That will reduce our fertility loss. That's good. We got 2 more points. Let's just do it, right? Let's just use them. This is a good one for firewood, but I'm not ready to do that yet. Let's do a 20% armor and damage for villagers, just to make them a little bit tougher against the elements as we level. That will help us quite a lot. And then for the remaining gents, none of these are good enough for me. Well, we're going to have to do this one, for sure. And that gives us enough points that now we can go into the next tier without having to be tier 2. Oh yeah, the Learning Academy and all that needs to be built into this. We got room down here, though. Maybe the theater should be down here. Yeah, theater down here. The theater and the learning area down here. And then the fortifications right here. This whole thing should just be... Honestly, this whole thing right here should actually just be one giant fort, now that I'm thinking about it. So, I think we'll do the temple, the theater, and everything in one spot. And we'll fortify this into a little, like, quasi-angular fortress. But 2 barracks have, like, the ability to sally out from here. I think that's going to look really good. And we're running out of arrows, so we got to get that Fletcher up ASAP. He is up. Let's put a 2,000 limitation here. And I like to do 40 bows. I think that's like more than enough. Put 2 people in here. We want a ratio of like 6 to 1. I want them making arrows more than bows. Gotta get caught up, right? Alright, we're gonna build 2 more houses out. Knowledge point generated. Okay, we're gonna make our way into forestry. 2 more points. Forestry is gonna be our jam. I think that this point here is also gonna need to be industry. This is gonna be housing. I think maybe this won't even be actually housing because there's too much industry here. It's gonna cause a negative. We'll probably need to keep our housing. I don't know. It would have looked really cool to have sideways housing though. Well, you know what? If I put like this 4x4 area is pretty cool. But if I put the storehouses here, I could turn this whole thing into production buildings. I'm not sure. It's actually possible that we could line this whole area with storage as a buffer. But it would look so weird. It will look so weird. But that would give us all this for industry, and that would be pretty awesome. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, these houses will just be far too close to everything. if I were to put something like a saw pit over here, do the negative stretches, but it's not crazy bad. We're gonna move the forager over here. Now I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm actually gonna redesign all of this because it's gonna work. And we're gonna have roads going from each section. This will be the workers' quarters for the industrial area. Okay, that actually will not hit them if I can do this. So we're gonna switch it up. And what we're gonna do is run a road from the bottom part of this all the way over and across. And that way we'll have seamless integration of the two areas. There we go. That makes it actually look kind of cool. And I'm pretty sure the firewood splitter won't bleed over, so we can do firewood splitters here. Multiples. Do the smokehouse right here. Move the well right there. And we'll have 4 firewood splitters in this area. Beautiful. Yeah, we're not going to have a road from this one. I'm just going to fill it. And then we can do whatever we want in here. Oh, we got some animals coming in. Eating my crops. Okay, we can upgrade to tier 2 now. But yeah, so we should be able to actually do houses here. And they'll feed into the industry area. It looks like we're going to need a little bit more stone than I thought. I'm going to harvest these 2 gents right here. Another knowledge point. Beautiful. We just hit tier 2. We just need 1 more point for forestry. And we can build buildings to get knowledge points. Anything with a scroll on it will give us... So if I build a temple or if I build a school, we can't do that though. I could build a shrine, but yeah, some of the stuff I don't have the resources for. Alright, we got a little bit of money coming in now. Alright, we have 0 wood, so I need to let them kind of catch up. One thing we do need to start doing though is getting ready to get into forestry. Wagon shop. I'm gonna put the wagon shop right here. We're gonna have a road at some point because we need a cross-section road. I'm gonna put one right here. All right, wagon is up. We need to get ourselves a work camp. So let's look. Where are we gonna put our forester? I'd love to be able to put a forester up here. Apparently, ooh, right there. There it is. There's our 62%. And looks like we got a nice spot down here, but that's farmland. So yeah. Our first ooh, not bad over there either. First forester is going to go right here in the industry area. That's a beautiful spot for it. Right up. Ooh, look at that. 60% right there. Right with the road going right towards it. That's perfect. Right underneath it. Perfect. That's an easy stretch of land for them to cover. I think I'm actually going to move the wagon shop right here. This is a kind of cooler spot for it. Right in the middle of everything. Looks like we need to flatten the terrain here. May have been too much. There we go. Alright, the food's pouring in now. I'm going to get up the next crop. We're going to do another 12 by 12. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to see where it ends. It doesn't like fully line up with the roads, right? I was really hoping to get some nice roads going down the middle. Sometimes you can get it to line up correctly and sometimes you can't, so that's just the way it is. I think actually, like, it's kind of cool that this lines up, but I want the middle to line up like this. This is fine. It will just be a little off-centered on this part, but I think it will look better. And that gives us more room to put like soap makers and stuff like that. So what we're going to end up doing, starting to get some of the defensive perimeter out just so we know what we're doing. So this is all going to be walled in. Okay. So the first storehouse is going to go right here. Second storehouse is going to go right there, which means that the road is going to go up the center here. Perfect. And the walls will go up this way. Okay. If I did this correctly, that gives me just enough room. Okay, it gives me enough room for one more, but there's a 2-tile gap there, and that's actually okay. What we can do is do these guys sideways. Or we could put the trade center. The trade would be really good right here. And we have more storage than we'll ever need right there. Beautiful. Storage there. Yeah, probably the trade post right here would be a good idea. And then we can actually do the smaller storages all the way up. This way. Now, we're going to need to move this. 250 gold. Okay, we're going to do it. What sucks is I only need to move it over one tile, really. Let's get the walls up first. Okay. There's the walls. So, we want a barracks up here. So let's get the barracks down. Barracks is going to go right here. I'm not going to build it yet. And then we can place the town center right up against the barracks. So yeah, one tile up, one tile to the right. That's going to be about as center as we can get this stuff. That's going to look great. We'll have at least the barracks in here. So barracks, town center, bunch of stuff. That's a really good early stage for us. We'll have our archers most likely in this barracks. And we're going to have more barracks. And they're not eating too much of our crops, and we're bringing in quite a bit of food. Get one more house up. And if we have the... Let's prioritize the work camp, because that will start getting trees a lot more efficiently. That's a big old rock right there. Cool, they can start harvesting that rock too. Definitely want to keep this road right here going down. But yeah, I think the temple and everything will be over here, and we'll put decorations all around it, make it look cool. I have 2 giant gated communities over here. We'll have a section for the industrial workers here. And yeah, the root cellars can easily just be lined up right here in this area. I'm actually kind of wondering if I want to chunk this. Have another one. I think that's a good call. And it might balance out how this stuff kind of looks, right? So as we can see, we're going to have another area right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. And I'm just going to start building out all the houses and just cancel construction, and we can re-enable this when we're ready. Just so we have an idea of what's going on. Alright, cool. That gives us this. That gives us 2 spots here. This gives us the temple. Oh yeah, look at that. That's perfect. We got a 2-tile gap. Yeah. A little bit more than we need, and that's fine. We can have benches on one side, not the other. This side's a little bit bigger. This side has 2-tile gaps perfectly. This one doesn't. For the road. But we can actually remove the road if that's the problem. If I remove this road, then I have equal distances on each side. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, no road down the middle there. We'll have the temple and the theater right here. Now we'll hit all the houses just fine. One of these, I think the long one here is going to be where the academy goes, and everything's going to be hunky-dory. This is great. This is a really nice looking setup. I'm going to move this guy over here for now. Alright, we are going to need compost fields, and I think right here is a perfect spot for them. Put one there, and then another one here at a later date. We're just going to continue the construction. Yeah, what's cool, too, is we can have a ton of root cellars right here. We could even have the granaries, and... Oh, I know what to do. We could do, that would look kind of cool. Not going to lie. We have windmills down this row here. If I do this correctly. Alright, we're going to have a farm right here, right? Another farm. 12 by 12. Let's pause the game real quick. How much room does that give us? On this side here. Gives us 1, 2, 3 tiles. Exactly as many as we need for windmills. So we're going to build this. And I know this we're missing out on some really good territory over here, but it's going to look really cool. And that's more important than people eating. So yeah, we got to make sure it looks cool. Right here. Bunch of windmills. Okay, perfect. We'll have this area right here for windmills. Just line it with windmills. It means we can line this area with granaries, and it's going to be highly efficient. The granaries will store the flour. The bakeries will be within like walking distance of that. This is going to be really, really good synergy here. Yeah, this is going to be dope. There's 3 there. And we'll probably have all the field. We'll probably have 3 more fields this way. This will be a pretty long area. Very good. That's awesome. So the fencing goes this way. I'm going to have a road. I think the fencing could potentially go just straight across the road here. We should have a road here, though, to help with this farm, too. I want to make sure people have access to, because there's going to be a farm over here. I want to make sure they can move across real fast. And the fencing is easy. We just need to have a gate right here. And I'm just going to do this because it's going to be a little bit of a corner piece. There we go. Perfect. I think we'll just have a nub road right here. Oh, okay. We're just going to put a fence gate here so that they have access at this point. I'm going to get up all my fence gates. It will be easier for me to trace this out. All right, we're at 44 out of 44. Start building a few more of these houses. Oh, we got some animals coming in. Gotta kill all the Bambis. Little known fact that deer love beans. We don't have a lot of workers right now because I am putting a lot on them. So I know there are certain industries that would be wise to get into. We just can't do it. Not there. I should probably cancel all these walls too, and then redo this in a second. So we're going to cancel some of these walls now that we have everything lined up. I was mainly just using the walls to line things up. We'll let them build this stuff out just to hold the formation, but we'll cancel half that stuff up there. And we definitely want to get a vault in the design. So I think I'm going to put the vault right here, and we'll just table construction. All right, and that gives us enough place for a storehouse there. 2 storehouses here. And then an enormous amount of storehouses back up. The mini storehouses are cool if you need room, but we have enough to put another storehouse here, another storehouse here. Oh, wait. We're putting the trade post right here. My bad. The trade post is going to go right here. And we can get that up right now. Yeah, this is a beautiful spot for a trade post. And we still have another spot for another storehouse right there. Perfect. Okay. And the work camp up here is doing a good job. Need to keep them cutting down trees. I'm going to pull them off stone just for a bit because we really need trees. Need wood right now. They got quite a jaunt. I need to get a temporary shelter up there at some point. Too cheap to do it right now. Alright, we got like 748 beans. Not bad. Alright, let's pull everybody off the farm. Have them start cutting things down. And what's kind of cool is we have one here. So we're gonna have 4 areas here. So each one of these is 16. These squares is 16. So it's 32 houses per market. So we're gonna have one there. We're gonna have one over here, and we're gonna have 2 more down here. And we're gonna have more farmland. The problem is we need to make sure that these people here have jobs. That's like the big kicker. So that's why I'm trying to kind of centralize things to make sure that there's short distances between them and the workforce. So we'll probably have some more stuff down here, but this is perfect because everything's near a storehouse. And the temple and theater will be centralized to all the housing. We could even do some other cool stuff like barns at the tips. Let's see. Yeah, because it's only an environmental factor of 40 there. Got some good stuff over here. If we keep going down, it gets pretty crappy. Barns will probably be better off down here in the crap area. We'll probably just keep going. Well, actually, no, because this is 65, 40. But these are 60s. I'll have to think about that. I like to keep the farms as close together as possible, though. That's the thing. All right, raiders are approaching. It's probably going to be like 2 or 3, but we should probably also get some towers up here pretty shortly. And they're coming from the left side. Oh, we have another infinite stone quarry right here. Nice. Oh, that's the same one? Okay. If they're coming from over here, we're going to want to expand west and set up towers so that they can't spawn in that location. The left side is our most vulnerable side. It's like the worst. This is going to be bad because all our housing is here and it's pretty much undefended. So we're going to need to get a barracks or an army or something. Okay. They're going to go right for the marketplace. That's fine. And they're probably going to torch the market. Let's get some of our hunters over here. Oh, they just stole some meat. Not a real big deal. Here we go. Got our hunters in the party. There we go. All right. They didn't get away with any of our loot. Killed all of them. 5 can't. Oh, no. 1 got away. 1 witnessed. I guess you always have to let 1 get away, right? All right. We got some wood finally. Got our first trader. So most likely the big thing we're going to be trading is pelts. We have so many hunters. So let's get the pelts in and see if we can start trading with a gent that comes later. Nice, another trader coming in. Realized I didn't put the farmers back. All right, let's put the farmers back on. Nice, he's buying all the pelts. There's like a 1,100, 1,200 almost. We can buy enough. Okay, we actually should buy the bricks and the iron. I think we need 30 bricks. 450, and we need iron. This gent has iron. We'll be able to go... Oh, he doesn't. Be able to upgrade into a forester. Yeah, so 30 bricks and 15 iron. Hold off on spending money on anything else. We may actually need to buy herbs, because there's no herbs on this map, and that kind of really sucks. I'm not gonna lie. You can set minimum purchases and all that stuff, but we just don't have the money to allow that kind of automatic economy in the background. It's just too volatile and too dangerous for us. I'm going to buy... Oh, no, we have enough swords. We don't need clubs. Okay, I am going to buy... Let's check it out. We do want to get a school up. 30. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get a school up right here. We are going to just purchase the 30 clay, because getting that school up is really going to help us out with our education rates. And it's not too expensive, just 120. All right. There we go. Oof, the saw pit got burnt down in a fire. Not good. All right, we got 3 knowledge points, so right into forestry. And now let's get into tech. We do need to get the academy up next, so I'm just going to put 2 points into the academy. We're going to get that. Now, I'm thinking the academy is going to go right here. It's a beautiful spot for it. And once we get the school up, we can build the academy. All right, so we got all 3 farm fields up. We just fast forward just a little bit because some of that stuff is a little tediously boring. I decided to amend the design here, so it's going this direction now. I had a problem with the fence when I had the road right here. It didn't do well, and I actually like this, so I replicated it on this side, so this whole area can now be part housing, part basic well. So we have some really awesome options now. I might do like a marketplace in the center with housing all around this area as the industry poor people's zone right next to the, the gated communities over here. So that's going to look really cool. So I think we have an idea of how awesome this place can be. So we're just going to roll with this. But this actually works out, I think, and looks a little bit nicer. But overall, the entire design is great. Getting your first 3 farms up as quickly as possible is really nice too once you start moving into crop rotation. Right now what we're doing is we're removing weeds, rockiness, increasing fertility, making a little bit of beans. We don't need all this food, but we want to keep our food stores at 12 months to help encourage immigration. Now you're probably noticing that I have a lot of food and I've maxed out my housing. So as we increase our population, the raid sizes increase as time goes by and the tier of our town center increases. The difficulty of each unit can increase. There's a random pool of raiders. You don't probably know this, but there's a probability that you get like the weaker ones or the harder ones. You get cav or you get catapults. There's a bit of an RNG element based on raids. People have told me it's like, I got much harder raids on my playthrough. It's like, yeah, you probably got, you know, a bad roll basically. So we have 11 gold. We're going to place one lookout tower here. Another thing that's cool is this lookout tower will help out. Now, the animals are eating some of the crops. I started on some of the fencing. We are going to fence these areas off. And yeah, we're going to have... So we're going to have a 12 by 24, and we're going to have another 12 by 24 along these paths. We're going to have 6 12 by 24s. And, you know, farming can be done down here. We're going to have the windmills right here. We're going to have granaries and stuff like that stored over here. Yeah, this is going to be great. But this is going to be one defensive corner. And most likely what we'll do is we'll have 2 more market areas, right? And we'll probably just do another defensive corner on the southern side here. That way we have just like 2 areas where we can pool our defenses to kind of protect. And then we'll probably have some kind of outer wall, perimeter wall system to help keep the enemy at bay while we muster our men to go out to that location. Walls are just really good at like buying you time to position your armies correctly. So there's a massive advantage there. Okay, so we got some droughts going on. We got 3 points. So we already have the forestry. We're waiting for a trader. I haven't actually been monitoring the trade post. So that's not cool, right? And there's some really good stuff over here. We're most likely going to focus on the efficiency side of things. So like steel tools, advanced metal casting, increasing the durability of tools, heavy tools. Like I want to get in the tool production here pretty quick. Marksman training is really, really good. 15% attack rate for towers and everything. So we're going to put a point into that for sure. That's an easy one. We also want to get nursing. Eventually I want to get a nursing hut up, the healer's house. And we could increase the birth rate, but that would just be silly. We want to get market focus so we can upgrade the market. That will double the amount of money we're getting per house. So it does look like we're having a little bit of an issue. I want to get the school up as soon as possible. We were kind of waiting on some resources to do that. Once the school is up, okay, the school is now up. We can now get the academy up. So I'm going to put the academy, yeah, if I put the academy here, or put the academy here, it's the same shebang. Got 2, okay, over here we have 2 tiles on each side. Cool, so what we're going to do is put the academy here. We need 500 gold, it's worth it. We're going to decorate the whole area around the academy. It's going to look really cool. But we'll get this out. Yeah, once I get the walls up, get the barracks up, get all the towers up. I'm going to put 2 people in these towers. Now, this should be a pretty fortified and defended area. Trade post is doing great. We have enough pelts to make another grand, it looks like. And we do have boards that we can start trading, so we're going to put some boards in for trade. Currently, I have an enormous amount of people working the farm fields, which is a huge negative in the beginning of the game. But when you're ramping up your populations the way that I do, you need to establish your food sources before you double your population. All right, we're going to start building more houses out. Build 4 houses. And I really like this area here. 8 tiles. So I'm going to do a parallel of 8. This is where the temple and the theater is going to go, but I'm thinking over here can be large parks, and we'll make like a crazy cool large park area. Does look like we have enough wood to do our defense, so I'm going to do it. I want to get it up. I want to look cool. Yeah, the sideways thing is a little tricky. I don't think we're going to be able to put towers in this unless I'm going to have to do some gymnastics over here. Most likely I'm going to have to drop this down. Okay, the raiders are approaching from the north side. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of gymnastics here. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will populate correctly. That would be so cool if it did. I still might actually kind of bump this out, though. I do like the way it looks. Alright, let's get everybody inside. It's a very small group of individuals. 8? Early raids in this game are just... They're kind of a sideshow, right? Later raids, you know, when it's 200 and they got catapults and they're murdering half your village, they're not so quaint. But, you know, these early raids, they ain't a thing. But it's good to over-prepare. Best not to be caught caught off guard, because they can destroy your whole village. It happens. Alright, cool. We just got a bunch of money right here. 3. That is beautiful. 960. Okay. For the town, I'm going to keep about 500 on hand. Still no iron ingots for our lovely level 2 forester up here. And we're running out of trees, so I'm going to have him move around a bit. All right, trader number 2. Oh, we can buy willow. Okay, we're going to buy the willow. We don't have any willow on this map, which is a huge problem. And we really need baskets. They increase the capacity of your workers, how much they can carry. So basket shop, we're going to get up. I'm also going to get up a cobbler. We need shoes. And I think I now have the same amount of people. People have asked, like, why don't I have things facing the road? Honestly, it doesn't really matter too much is the reason. But it does look nicer, I will admit. Later stages, actually, it does look nicer when all the houses are facing one direction, especially when you get into tier 4 and 5. So I will actually properly face these houses. I should start doing that. It looks a lot cleaner and a lot cooler. But as far as like entering and exiting goes, it's really negligible. Like they either come out the front, right? So it's like they come out here, they come out here or here. It's like, I guess like it adds like a little bit of efficiency to do it. I just kind of hate that stuff. Oh, it did work. It did work. We're gonna stick with the original awesomeness then. We will stick with the sideways awesome. What I don't know is how gates are gonna look. It could look ridiculously wonky. All right, we're gonna use the double gate here since it's kind of weird. I'm gonna do 2 gates like that. We'll use a side gate here and a side gate here. Oh, nice! Look at that. It angles perfectly. That is so cool. This thing's gonna look dope. I love it. Awesome. Okay, yeah, we can have our cool towers after all. That's great. Yeah, so we'll have a double gate here. I'm gonna double the roads out, make it look cooler. Oh, it has. Okay, cool. There we go. Double roads. All right. They're not eating too much, but you know, it's kind of the principle, right? Eating my food. We'll keep the hunters here. We're going to get this all enclosed here pretty shortly, but for the time being, we're just going to go with the flow. Got 14 months worth of food. Everyone loves me. I'm going to remove all farmers. Them cutting down the trees. Helping out. Yeah, we used a lot of wood. That's all right. Look at this, though. It's beautiful. We're getting it up. I actually really like this. Looks cool. I like it being centered too, and the industry branching off of this. I think that the industry area for housing is going to look really cool as well. Okay, so what I'm kind of thinking is, up here, we put a large, a small park in the middle. So you're going to have 3, see how you have 3x3s on all sides? It's really cool. Yeah, we'll put a small park here. And we can do that right now. I was thinking the ring around the rosy could go here, but then we won't have the, you know, the nice symmetry. So I know that the temple and all that's going here. I could put this over here, but man, we're missing out on that whole 1%. I could put the festival pole right here, even though this is part. I know some of this is supposed to be for commerce, but we can really do whatever we want, and I kind of like this spot for it. Or it fits right here. No, that's where the bakery was gonna go. Bread or festival poles. Man, it fits perfect too. Well, the baker would be really good right here. Oh man, decisions. We really need this pole. People need to feel alive, running around and doing weird stuff. I don't know what they do here. I could put the bakery inside of here. It'd be kind of cool actually to have the bakery inside of this area. Let's do it. If I'm kind of thinking like we have the bakery kind of inside of this with benches and stuff, it will look like an inner courtyard. It will look kind of cool. You could even put a pub. I have 13,000 pubs. Wow, that is awesome. We got cheap iron. I'm going to buy 1 extra iron. I should probably actually buy some stone. We are broke. Very, very broke. So we're not going to do any of that. But now we can upgrade over here. Where did my iron go? What are you doing to me? Okay. They changed their mind. Yeah, we have 16 iron. I'm going to buy a little bit more. That was annoying. Okay, let's upgrade the work camp. Now we're going to have our forester up. That's going to be a beautiful day for all. 3 villagers were born. 1 villager has come into the fold. Let's pop up over here and see what else we have on the docket. We're going to do this. 15% increased disease resistance for all crops. This becomes a problem early game. So it's actually really good to invest in this early. But once we get a proper crop rotation up, you see we already have some things going on. Okay, so we're caught up on some of these gents. What is going on? UI was a little glitchy there, my bad. We're gonna double down on getting rid of the weeds faster. Oh yeah, I have no farmers out, no wonder. It has nothing to do with why it's glitching out, but maybe it does. It's kind of weird. When you don't have any workers assigned, it doesn't like you moving stuff around. Okay, we're gonna do this. We have some bean wilt. I don't care. Let it wilt. We'll get the weeds down. Once the weed and rockiness are gone, like they are on this gent, we're gonna switch to full beans. And then once the other guys are down, we'll do a proper crop rotation. So we do need more clay. We need a lot more clay bricks so that we can upgrade this market. Need 60. And we need a godly amount of stone. I think I'm going to switch this over to stone. Planting. Pump that up. We need a big wave of people to come in. We need help. Let's start building up houses. Even if we don't get money from them, it at least will help us bring people in. We just need a big wave of immigrants. We're going to have 4 markets like this. We're going to have 1 second market here, and then 2 and 3. And that's going to be massive. This is going to be a huge palace of high prestigious housing. Thinking down here, we put a shrine in the middle. Yeah. So each one can have, and on all 3 sides, we have more decorations that we can do. And on each side, we have the ability to do decorations. So this is cool. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Actually, hold up. Yep, that's right. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Oh, nice. 12. All right, we're back in business now. That's exactly what we needed. Let's get everyone to work. And if we could just buy those bricks, we'll be able to upgrade the market here. And we definitely want to put 2 people in here. This is already starting to look really nice. Oh, nice. I didn't even think about that. We can use the natural progression here. Oh my god, look at that. It's exactly 3 tiles for housing. Yes, my industrial revolution has begun. The impoverished peasants will have order. Oh man, this is really good. All right, cool. And look right here. We have our 4. That's the market. But the market's actually gonna have to go somewhere in here. We'll have to destroy a road, and that's okay. This bottom area, I don't think I'm gonna fill with houses. Actually, we could very well do some decorations and things right here. This is a good spot. Definitely want to put a couple wells down here. Yeah, but wherever it turns blue, it's green here. Okay. And then up here at the tippy top. Oh yeah. To do that. Oh, this is looking good. All right, I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way so I can get the roads proper. See, the roads for this, though, they don't do well with 3s. A lot of this stuff is 4s here. So that works down here with this part, but we have fencing, so that doesn't work. How can I incorporate this? Well, we could do something like we did with the stockyard, where the roads start off of it, but that doesn't help out either. I don't know. We'll just leave it alone for now. Oh, nice. We have a source of iron over here. It's not a whole lot, but that does help. We're going to have to go pretty heavy on the deep core mines. We're going to need a lot of people to make this work. We have a little bit of rot. Very, very minor rot. It's because everyone's harvesting at the same time. The way I set my stuff up is I have everyone harvesting at different times, and you can get away with less people. We're going to let the beans rot. It's no biggie. Okay, we're going to build all this up. We're going to get some stone. Let's fast forward here a second. Got ourselves a raid camp up here, so we got to be real careful. We got infinite sand right there off of this. This is beautiful setup for these resources. Everything is just so tight and close together. I like the oppressive area for the industry housing. Ah, look at that. Not bad. It's probably going to be better if we put it in the middle here. Like, yeah, even like right here. Could fit a lot. I don't know what we're going to do with this side over here. Could do cattle over here. Oh shit. Okay. I thought that was the raid camp coming in to start killing people. Looks like we got an immigrant wave. Nice, 8. We're at 110 pop. Look at that. That is beautiful. We're going to boot up the builders to 12. That stuff going. Ooh, we got a lot of people. 14 it is. Okay. Ooh, we need some wells. Let's start building out all the housing. I think we're in a good place now. I think this down here, we're going to put the healer hut in the middle. So, yeah, we got the wells up there. So this is the tricky part, right? Do we put a well? Like, putting a well in the center of all this would make a whole lot of sense. Thinking I want to keep one tile on the outer edge for gardens. And then, like, in these corners, we can just do whatever we want. So this is too close to those wells. That's fine. But it's almost perfect. I think that's green. No, it's blue. Okay. We can do one there. We can't do any more. The bakery can go right here next to the well. And that actually helps because we need water and stuff around these areas. Bakery there. We're not going to construct that at the time being, but that's cool. I like that. Yeah, bakery right underneath garden area. It's going to be neat. We're going to build this all out. Every park's going to be unique. Like I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a healer hut over here. But yeah, we'll have bakeries in each of these main areas because I think it looks cool. Nice, he's buying all my pelts. It's almost 700 there. Fortunately, he does not have any clay bricks, which sucks. Really want to upgrade this market. Might not be able to get that corner house. That would suck. It worked in my last playthrough, but I may have actually not had a road here. I may have only had one road. Ah, yes. I may need to... Because see how it's coming through here? We're going to upgrade it. If it doesn't hit everything, all I have to do is destroy this road and move everything over one tile. Good. That's why it's good to kind of do this stuff, right? But the problem with that is it throws off our design a little bit. Just a tad bit. Adds a little bit extra. But that's okay. Extra can be alright. Alright, there we go. There's our bricks. So, I'm going to buy 38. I think we need 60. Yes. We need 60 and we do not have enough cash. It's really, really expensive to upgrade this thing. Coming along real nice, though. Everything's looking dapper. Eventually, when I get enough folk, we're going to really start pumping out the boards, and that's going to be a lot of our early game economy right there. Forrester's doing an okay enough job. He's planting, I believe, maples. This is a beautiful spot. These are mostly maples here. Getting a little bit of stone coming in. All right, we almost got up our area of learning, our university. Have people come up here and help. I'm going to prioritize this, get that stone done. All right, so this is 12, right? That means from this point here, I think this was it right here. Oh, that's 13. Actually, that's good because we need a spot for apiaries. I forgot all about them apiaries. So yeah, let's leave one slot out. I like it. We'll have apiaries between, because we need a couple tiles in between stuff. All right, we're going to close this off for now. We're eventually going to destroy this bottom thing. But I need to get all the deer out of here. We'll kick these deer out once we destroy all of them. A little bit of crop eating. Nothing I can't handle. Alright, there it is. The academy. We're going to pump this up. I want a full group of people getting all nerdy up in there. All right, we need educated people for this. This is the problem, and a lot of them in other places. We're just going to start throwing people in. I'm going to throw 2 people for now, and I'll let new educated workers take over. It should auto-refill the places I took people from. All right, look at that. Small park. We should probably focus on starting to get these up. Now, this is a huge problem. I don't have any native supply of herbs. None. That's one of the detriments of plains. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll get a really good plains map. However, I really wanted to focus. Like, I did roll a couple maps, but I like this one because of all the deep core mines. And the plains is really big and open. So I could have probably spent more time finding one, but it was just too obnoxious. And I just really like this map. So I decided just to take a bullet to the leg, and we'll just buy the herbs as they come in. Herbs are a great trade item, though. We may get lucky, and I may have just missed where some herbs were, though. Exploration time.
Need something?
Yeah, okay, we're gonna go a little exploring. Oh, fuck me. Oh, boy. Yeah, well, sorry. We did find clay down here. We have to get this raider. We could try to summon some people from the barracks to do it. No, we're kind of broke right now. Need to upgrade this. Need to get the money flowing. Need to get ourselves another root cellar. Do 2 of them, in fact. Get all the stone we can. There's not a whole lot of stone in the plains as well. There are going to be some bulk up stages where I just have to kind of let time pass by, get those resources. Really like it. I actually really like the well in the design. It's green too. Cool. It lines up perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to have an extra well in the middle of everything here. And that would be kind of a cool decoration for these, kind of like go with the well. Or these ornamental trees. But we don't get those till tier 3-ish. And this stuff can be a little pricey. It's money, stone. We'll pretty this up in a bit, but this is going to look very cool. Alright, cool. Fencing is pretty much done now. We just need to start killing all the deer and pushing the spawn every time you kill them and you have people and buildings near, it pushes them a little bit more. In fact, one of the better ways to probably push them is to throw a hunter cabin down right here. So buildings and people will just naturally push these spawn points out. Alright, cool. We killed all the deer, so it's going to move it just a little bit now. Got ourselves 3 points in knowledge. Alright, we're going to go all in on reducing disease chance by increasing our resistance. Grain crops for sure. I need those badly. And then next we need to focus on... Oof. So let's unlock mining. This is going to get tricky because we don't have a lot of resources, so we need money in order to buy raw mats. And we don't really have an economy. Our economy is probably going to be boards. I probably need to get a second forester camp up. And we just need to do this proper, right? Let's do a little bit of exploring up here to see if there's some nicer forester areas. Got a sand pit up here. We have herb patch up here. There we go. It's not a lot. It's 14 herbs, but you know what? Those 14 herbs could be the difference between us having nice things and not. 527 coal, not even worth it. Perfect. Okay. We don't need our forester for food anymore. We really don't. The forager shack. It's awesome. It's a good source of food, but we don't need it. So we can still get some food up here. So I'm going to do that. We'll get food, but we'll get those herbs. I'll move him up here. That will be our supply of herbs. That's actually really awesome that we found some herbs. Okay. No bricks. Not buying anything that I have. Pelts are kind of the main trade item, and hopefully soon shoes. Got a few shoes we can start selling. Got some boards we can start selling. Cut down all these trees. Alright, look at that. He's buying all the pelts. He's buying all them shoes. Beautiful money. Nothing I can really do anything with, though. Okay. Yeah, we gotta get this thing up to tier 2. And I'm fairly confident it's not gonna hit... I don't think it's gonna hit these corner houses. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to bust this road out and bring everything up 1 tile. We'll have a 2-tile gap on the bottom side here, and that's okay. Actually, that actually Because we have a 2-tile gap here. We have a 2-tile gap here. So we have a 3-tile gap down there. Okay. Okay, we got another knowledge point. I think we're going to focus on our tree economy, like 20% work to produce planks. I think this is where we're going to get our raw resources from. Well, yeah, let's do it. Let's go all out. Let's go all out on the tree economy. Oh, shit. Oh, that's not good. They're going to get sniped every time they come out this way. Oh, boy. Okay. I think what we need to do, shift this over to here. Why are they walking this way? Oh, God. Okay. So what we need to do is make a road so that they path into the road. Okay. Jeez Louise, man. These lemmings, they, like, look at this. They're running. They're not supposed to do this. They're supposed to avoid these areas, but it's because of the roads that they're just suicide bombing this camp. Okay, this isn't going to stand. We're going to need an army. We're going to need to get our shit together. This will do it, though. This will fix everything. We don't even need to actually move it. I just needed to get a road so that they follow the road next time. Ooh, look at that, another infinite iron right there. Yeah, we'll have a stone storage and quarry. We'll have a storage for stone right next to the quarry over there. When we get that going, it's going to be awesome. Okay, the deer have come back. Okay. We're ready to start doing some stuff. I am going to get rid of all disease really quickly, though. And we're just going to do some turnips. Okay, we need to make sure we don't get diseases on this, so we're going to do clover turnip. And I'm going to do like clover carrots here. We'll get it rolling here in a second, but I need to get rid of the diseases first. There we go. Now they're taking the road. This academy is bankrupting us. We need more money. Alright, some of these houses are starting to go up. We mainly just need the herbs, and we're going to start getting those in. So houses will start upgrading here momentarily. There we go, finally. Get them bricks. Okay. Bought a bunch of bricks. I'm going to throw this money into the town. Upgrade our market finally. Bingo. Nice, he's buying pelts. Oh, we got a raid coming from the west. All right, let's ring that bell. And we got a raid coming from both sides. I'm probably going to explore this whole area and put some towers and things off to the west. All right, here they come. There's quite a bit of them this time, actually. There's 18. That's quite a bit. We don't have a whole lot of defenses. Speed this up. We got some coming from the west side. Hopefully they don't destroy my marketplace. All right, yeah, they're terrorizing the neighborhood, causing all kinds of chaos. There we go. Okay, yeah, this tower is already paying for itself right there. Murked that whole southern advance. Yeah, the 15% increase in fire rate actually I think is pretty effective. Oh, dang, they busted through one of the gates. We're melting them though. I do like this. They can kind of bunch up though. That's like the bad thing about these kind of gates is they kind of bunch up. There we go. We murked them. Beautiful victory. 42 villagers graduated. Killed half of them. Oh man, we got some diseases here. Now we got turnip disease. Okay, we have no disease here. Do some beans. We're gonna have to start getting into bread production here soon. Thinking we'll just do some buckwheat. That'll be good. Buckwheat in the third. Right. Do beans in the third. Buckwheat in the first. Turnip second. Lovely turnips. Oh, that puts us at buckwheat in the second. And beans in the third. Or the first, I should say. Alright, we'll do beans up here. This rotation should take care of the issues. So oh gosh, it's buckwheat. Okay, buckwheat, beans, and peas. Perfect. All right, let's just not do anything. Not do anything, please. Okay, there we go. We got a nice rotation now. And we can put granaries behind each cellar here. That gives us a huge line. And we're going to need to build one of the bakeries. We're going to need to get a heavy tool. Start getting some flour coming in. Bread will really help us out. All right, the forester's doing a very good job. We're bringing in the bacon now. Got a lot of wood, actually. Here we go, getting some houses upgraded. Let's delete this road. I think it's time to get this area up. I really do. So the market can go pretty much anywhere I want it to. Let's lead out with some houses. So houses here. Nice. We got a little 1x1 tile in the middle. We can do some decorations. Okay. So if I put the market right here, that gives me a nice little spot up here for a bakery and a well. We'll have the well right here. Got a well down. We got 2 wells here. Get one more well here. Put a bakery right here. Bada bing, bada boom. We are not going to build the bakery right now, but we're just going to get it up. Okay, we're going to get these houses up. I do need to know if there's going to be any issues with this, so this is kind of cool. Oh, yeah, we're going to face outward. Cool. Yeah, that gives us a whole line, and we can see if we're having any issues here. I don't think we're going to, the way we positioned all this stuff, so this is great. There we go. Beautiful houses. Got all our industry workers now. All right, there we go. Negative 20% work to produce planks. Beautiful. And we're going to go definitely into production logistics. 10% production speed at all buildings that use heavy tools. Once we get heavy tools, that's pretty big. Firewood splitter and saw pit can be upgraded. We want that. We want forging and smithing, but we don't have the resources to do anything. The deep core mines are going to be like critical to getting this build off the ground. And we have another deep core mine right here. That's honestly pretty good. We might need it for iron. You can usually fit around 2 deep core mines on a single plot, so we should be pretty good. And yep, all the windmills we'll ever need right here. This is awesome. Yeah, and the deer aren't moving. I'm probably going to need to extend. Sometimes you have to put the building like right on the spawn point. We're going to move another hunter down into this area. Population's growing. It's doing great. And we are running out of stone. Well, look at that. Salvage site over here. And some stone. And they have stone for sale. We're going to purchase some just to get us going. 40 stone's going to really help us out right now. We got some baskets that we made from the willow we purchased. Beautiful. I'm just going to leave her in there for now. I know it's kind of silly, but it's all right. Here we go. Let's get these bad boys going. Ba-boom, ba-boom. We're going to have buckwheat. I do need a heavy tool. Ooh, $3.99. Oof. Might have to sell some baskets. Yeah, we're kind of broke. We got some money in the town. Let's pull it in. See if we can get that heavy tool. I'm actually going to need quite a bit. Let's just pull all the money. Nice. We're getting 34 now. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Money time. All right, first heavy tool has been purchased. Now, usually I throw that into the forge itself, but since we don't have iron right now, and I'm just trying to get some new food types off. Oh, I need flax. All right, we're gonna do flax here. Okay, we got some pelts we can sell. Got some bricks. I could try to upgrade this other market. That'd actually be pretty good. We're running a little low on food, but we'll have a good haul here in a moment. Oof, no we won't. We'll have beans. Oh, we gotta kill a bunch of deer. My favorite thing to do. Food for all. Ooh, the drought's gonna hit us hard. That's alright. Okay, we got a little bit of meat coming in. I actually may need that forager that I put up here a while back to start bringing in some food. Should have just kept to my bean diet. We'll be alright. We got 866 beans. Yeah, that was pretty bad. The drought kind of screwed us at a big crop harvest. I believe, though. I believe in us. Our population's starting to get up there. We have enough for 246 pop. That's going to be a problem if we don't start expanding our food supply soon. Okay. We need to move the hunter cabins, and we need to immediately start expanding our food production. Labor count's low.
Hello there.
Okay. I think we're alright. People are getting food. The new year. The windmill's almost up. Need to get some stone. We got a baker over here. Perfect. Once we get that windmill going, we get the grain coming in, we're going to have bread. Yeah, that money that's coming in right now is really helping us out, too. I should build more towers and barracks and yada yada, but I really just want to keep that money coming in. People are going to die, and that's okay. Like, from disease. The food's about to come in big time. Alright, we just needed that little bit right there. And we're good. It was a bad year because of that. That's alright. We'll go back to the turnips. Everything has a different yield point, so we can get away with fewer workers. One thing I do hate, like, we're having a food issue, right? And there are all these deer out here, and I have to tell them to go individually hunt. It's just like, maybe the hunters were nerfed a little too much. Kind of stupid to sit there and watch everyone starve to death when you have all these perfectly good deer. Alright, we're going to unlock foraging. I'm going to try to get into foraging here in a little bit. Alright, the windmill is going. Beautiful. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Got the baker over here. The water. We got the flour. We start making some bread. Yeah, but when you have this issue, just go off and start killing all the deer by hand. It's a pretty easy way to get back up to where you were before. We got a lot of deer up here. Alright, they got some food to bring in now. That is a crazy amount of deer. That's 8 deer right there. Right, he's butchering. We're getting the meat. Now that I got the bread going, that's the problem when you go to grain production and you don't have things up. I could probably transition just a little too quick. Okay, buckwheat, beans, peas. We could probably get away from this disease, but it's hurting. We've been really lucky. No villagers have starved quite yet. We're like right there in the cusp. All right, we're going to get some meat in. We're going to have a harvest here soon. I think we're going to be good. Hunters are definitely saving everybody right now. And we have a good chunk of grain, so that's great. I think I'm going to get 2 people into the windmill. We're going to need to start pumping out bread like crazy. Let's get 2 people in the bakery. They have 4 carcasses in here. Dang, they got meat for days to butcher. Alright, we got ourselves a traveling merchant. He does have a tome of knowledge. We do have enough money to buy it, but I don't think I'm going to. Got some stones, so we're good there. We have no herbs. We should start bringing those in soon. If he had food, I'd actually buy it right now, but he doesn't. I'll buy some herbs just to get the houses to start upgrading. Oh, once we get the food in. Ooh. Oh, he died from illness, thank God. I don't want anybody to die from starvation. I can't believe I did this. Kill the Bambi. Or dang, maybe I need to stop sending him out. Yeah, I need to stop sending him out because they have like 5 carcasses. Yeah, they're just in there butchering all day like hardcore. He's seeking food, but he needs to butcher. This is the logistics problem, right? He's the man who makes the food, but he is hungry. So he's seeking food instead of making the food. Oh boy. We have ourselves a conundrum here. They're all seeking food. One is crying because someone died of illness. Oh boy. Doing laundry? The town is starving and you're doing laundry? Oh boy. Yeah, let's also make sure that they're not storing raw meat. Oh, thank God we got a bunch of resources there, but none of it was food. Also make sure they're not storing raw meat here because it will spoil real quick. Crops lost to disease. Okay. We're about to get some food in. Shelter stocking. Okay, he's butchering some meat. He's butchering meat too. The village is saved. They decided to do their jobs. We just need to get enough food to help them last until the great bean and turnip harvests. And it looks like almost everything is flour now. Nice, 400. That is awesome. Yeah, we're making a lot of... That's like 1,000 bread. That's a lot of food. I made 300 bread last year. Okay. I think the bread's keeping the majority of people from starving to death right now. I forgot that they nerfed food, so I'm playing off of like my old muscle memory. So yeah, this happens. Okay, some people are getting food up here. A good sign. All right, wherever we place our barns, we're gonna want the arborist. Oh dang, this whole area is great for trees. Yeah, if we do barns, we do them over here. I like to keep it kind of, you know, close to the grain, but it doesn't actually matter too much. The barns do create negative desirability is the problem. But this wouldn't be a bad location for barns. All the way up to the stone. Oh, we have some animals. Alright. Got a bit of disease. Got some turnips coming in. I don't know where they went. They only harvested 458 turnips. Got the buckwheat. Well, that's going to help us in the long run. It's not going to help us in the immediate run. We need these beans. Oh, damn, do we need food. Okay. This is a pretty easy thing to counter. Let's get another forager up. This will bring in some berries. It will bring in some greens. It will help stave off some of the hunger. And let's look at knowledge. Let's see if we can boost our crops in any meaningful way. Yeah, drought resistance, selective breeding, yields for beans, green vegetables. Let's do that. 20% yield. Anything we can do just to give us a couple more months of food. Oh shit, these people are starving to death. Did that guy just get food? Okay, he just got 8 meat. Is he still dying? Wow. That was on the buzzer. On the buzzer. Okay, we have 1 month of food now. That was close.
Hello there.
That was very close. Alright, we got 975 beans, and we're already out of food. They already ate all of it. Jeez Louise. Okay. Well, hopefully we can get the bread going. Bread's gonna keep us... This is bad. This is really bad. I expanded far too quickly. I don't know what happened to the beans. They ate... The problem is everyone's starving, so they immediately eat all the food, so there's no food to be stored. So it's like a circle. We only got half our turnips too. The drought actually is what's kind of screwed us a while back. Okay. So, 20% tree growth, hell yeah. Animal husbandry, definitely, soon. Drought tolerance, okay. Yeah, let's do drought tolerance up. Anything we can do. Okay, we did get 1,000 bread from that, but that's not going to be enough. Seeking medicine, shelter stocking, butchering, fair enough. Fair enough. Just get me some food. Yeah, there's not much, so we need to move this around for the greens. I'm gonna move it down here. Get some of these berries. Okay. He'll come back and get the food, right? I don't think we can make it through another winter. We don't have any food. Okay. We're gonna have to do something kind of crazy here. We just need more hunter cabins. It's the only way out of this. All this, we won't even be able to do anything with this. Another hunter cabin over there. We just need every single person bringing in meat. The pelts will be amazing for trade. We might need to start making more shoes with the amount of pelts we have. That might be a good trade item for us. This is the way, man. This is how we get out of this mess. Oh dang, we got another family up here, deer. No hunter to hunt. All right, there we go. We got 2 of them. We got the camp over here, though. Gotta be careful. All right, I'm gonna reposition this gen over here because when the new season starts, this will be where the food's at for the forager. Okay, he's got 3. He's got 2. He's got none.
Hello.
I'm gonna have him kill a deer or 2. I'm gonna have him kill 1 deer. We can butcher it really, really quick. A lot of them are shelter stocking, which is super annoying. They're all stocking their shelters. There's no food to stock your shelter with. This is madness. Okay, there we go. We're getting to it. Beginning of a new year. We're somehow still alive. This is madness. Madness. Okay, we're going to expand this one field so I can push the deer spawn out. There we go. Come in here and kill all the deer. And go back to butchering. There we are. Big old pile of food. We are going to have so many pelts at the end of this. It's going to be glorious. Okay, let's see. What do we have to trade? Well, we got 83 shoes. That's good. Put that up for trade. Only 66 pelts. Kind of surprised by that, but all right. 299 boards. Let's trade every single board we have. Bunch of flax fiber. I'm actually going to store the flax fiber in the trade because it won't deteriorate, and then we can sell it. 768. Grain being converted into flour. Beautiful. Now, the real problem is if we... Okay, the heavy tool's at 100%. So if this ever breaks, we're kind of screwed. Right now, it's not breaking. We're doing good. All right. With all these new hunters, I'm hoping I can get some food coming in. The foragers actually might be where it's at, though. The foragers do bring in quite a bit. He's getting the eggs. Last year, he brought in a couple hundred food, and that's actually really good. All right, he's buying pelts. We're about to get raided. There's the money. Buy fish. I'm going to do it. I don't normally do this kind of stuff, buying food, but I'm kind of scared people are getting close to dying. We just need one really good year, and I think we're about to hit it with the beans there. I think we're about to hit it. We need to get rid of that disease. All right, they're coming from the left and the southwest. This is the worst part for them to attack me from, like I said, because it's the least defended with the most vulnerable of items. So we're going to have some collateral damage if they start destroying buildings. Since we don't have the barracks up, I should probably get that up next. Let's do it. Let's get the barracks up. All right, here they come. Hopefully they don't destroy the marketplace. Oh, good God. My marketplace! Okay. Well, I do have an immense amount of hunters. So get the army out. Start peeling them off. All right, let's help out our defenses. The more of them we kill now, the better, because they'll start running. We need to make sure they don't kill our market. All right, they stole my fish. I'm going to have to kill this gent. Cool. We got the dude who stole our fish. The thing is I'm noticing in the beta patch, I'm not seeing it being dropped back onto the ground. That kind of sucks. I think it's there. I think that's fish. I don't know. But now they damaged the building. Needs to be repaired. Okay. He warded off the attack. That was good. But we may have gotten screwed up over here. Now we're in good shape. They only ate about 50 crops. Okay, cool. We'll get the turnips, get some grain, and we'll get some beans. I think we're at a point now where we're going to up the ante. And we could do rye. Rye has -6 versus -7. Oh, but the yields are so much better on wheat. We're going to do wheat. And we're going to just bite the bullet and do it. Compost should start piling in here soon. All right, people are dying from illnesses and not because they're starving to death, so that's great. Just for my ego, right? Drought tolerance all the way, 50%. We were definitely very susceptible to drought. See, losing some stuff from heat stress. Okay, need to start positioning these things better. Awesome, we're gonna get some stuff. Oh, look at that. We already got it out. We busted it out. So it has pretty bad stem rot. So buckwheat, beans, peas, we can't grow. Let's grow some stuff that isn't gonna kill us. And yeah, we'll switch to wheat on this gent now too. How many people do we have? Quite a bit. Okay, we're gonna keep expanding the crops, but slowly. All right, let's come over here. Try to get this stuff. These berries. These are great. All right, look at that. We're doing it. We're in good shape. We're about to get a big yield of food. Oh, we did move the deer spawn, but it moved up here, so we will need to expand this one next. Fuck it, we're just gonna do it. We just need to get these deer out of here because they're causing mayhem. There we go. Bandit. Need to buy some more heavy tools so we have a backup. Alright, we got a little bit of buck. That's weird. We didn't get the full buckwheat. Okay. This is going to be grain from now on anyway, though. The weeds are kind of back. So let's add some weedage in here. To every one of them, right? Weeds are back because we expanded, but that's alright. Alright, we got 1,400 beans. We have 5 months worth of food. Oh my god, we finally did it. We finally caught up. Alright, now with all these hunters pulling in some food, we really need to get an arborist up. Is what we need. So I need to figure out where I'm going to be putting cow. Because if we got this up, we wouldn't be so screwy. Now, if I put them all the way over here, they're really far away from everybody. So I do feel like putting the barns here is a good idea. I think we could fit 2 barns right here. If I do this correctly. Maybe not. Let's see. If I put one here, I could put one here. Okay. And then we could put the barns and the cheesemakers like right here. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna place these 2 gents right here. And I'll get it situated. I'm gonna need clay. So I need to buy some raw clay or find a vein of clay. We got 12 individuals who are coming in. So I have placed some apiaries. We're gonna expand the 3rd farm out now. We're also starting to get some of the other housing districts out. So we're gonna have 4 districts here and another 4 districts down here with farmland just kind of spread out. This is going to be a really populated build, and it's going to be kind of hard to defend all of it. I'm thinking at the southern tip down here, we're going to have another fortified area with the barracks, potentially even cav down there. So I did also get the tech point to upgrade the trade post, so we're going to try to get some bricks and upgrade the trade post as fast as possible. But other than that, we're trekking along, getting the economy up. Now you can see we have a ton of wood and logs, so we're going to focus on creating boards for our economy. And the awesome is you can see that most of these trees are maple, so we're in a really good place right there. And almost all of our fields are up. Just a couple of things are going on, but we're going to really start pulling in the grain, and we need to get some kind of iron up. So I'm thinking we might do some of the... So I know I have the industry up here, which is great. This is a great place for it. We have all these workers over here and here, and then these workers can kind of come into the field. So there's a lot of room down in these parts. So we're going to have parks and things that look really cool. This whole area down here is going to be kind of unique and modeled. So I'm going to try to make it spacious. I'm going to try to make it look nice. And that's what we're going to be focused on. But primarily, we need to get housing and we need to get farm plots up. All right, so looking at the big picture, you can see that the healer's hut does not hit everything, right? It won't hit these areas up here. That's just desirability. They still have access to the healer's hut, but I think we're going to have 2, 1 for each section. So since we can't put a well here, this is actually a really opportune spot. Also, we already have a school, which I believe hits almost every house over here. So that's great. We have the festival pole, which hits every house, so we don't need duplicates of those things. So what we're going to do is put a healer's hut right here. We're having massive illness right now and people dying. I got to get this up. We have the money to afford it. So we're going to put a healer hut up right here. I am going to prioritize that. Now, we also did get a clay mine up. We're getting some apiaries up, like I said. So we need to prioritize this and start getting some raw clay in. We have a trader coming in, but things are moving along really nice. I'm looking forward. We're pushing our food production ahead of our population. You can see our max population is 323. Now, we don't have the defenses for that. So when you're doing this, you want to build your defenses up accordingly. Otherwise, when the raids do come, they will overwhelm you. And we're going to put towers in the corners. We're going to get at least 4 towers up right now. And we have a little bit of herbs coming in, which is great. We're going to purchase some more willow to make baskets. And right now, our big economy is pelts and boards. And shoes, it looks like. And luckily, it does look like we're producing lots of flour now. And so we'll focus on those things. Most likely, I'm going to get a few of these saw pits up once I get an influx of excess workers. Right now, we're kind of struggling. But we're doing really well. We got a good rate going. Almost have our third farm up. Just a little bit of weeds to get rid of here. So our fertility is low because we're using grain. We're going to have to switch back to something a little bit less severe potentially and let those fertility rates get back up. On this crop, we can't do it, and that's fine. And the fertility here is good too. So I think I'll just switch the buckwheat on this gent. You know, we actually don't even need as much grain as we're producing. So let's actually just say no grain on this crop right here. And let's just do no food that 1 year because we're going to have so much grain. Let's get rid of the weeds real quick. All right. And then once we get the clay, we can get everything up there. And look at that. We got the filled up. Now I'm only using 12 workers because we have everything. I did put turnips at the beginning because I was getting heat stress. So here we go. We got a good crop rotation. We got a lot of food. I did get the tech for forging and to make iron production. So we got our blacksmith and our foundry. So the blacksmith, you can see, can be pretty far away. I'm going to put it as close to the storage as possible. So like right here is beautiful. Now we're going to have multiples of these. So I'm going to set this down because I kind of hate having to come back and move things around. So we're going to have 2 blacksmiths. And we're going to have 2 foundries. I think we're going to be able to hit 2,000 pop on this build. And I'm going to leave one of the foundries up and running. And I'm going to leave one of the blacksmiths ready to be built as well. And we'll get 2 tools and we can buy raw iron. But we do need to get that going. We need to be able to produce our own tools. So this gent is selling stone at a really good rate. He's also selling tools at a pretty high rate. We're going to hold off on buying tools just yet. I'm going to buy some stone simply because it's holding up the production of certain buildings right now. So let's get that going. We need to get up these towers. We need to get prepped for the next raid. And right now we have a camp that is attacking villagers, but I can't see which one it is. Oh, it's this gent here. They're trying to get this road up, and they are dying in droves. Okay, let's get rid of this. And we do need to get the temple up too. It's rather expensive. So the temple is going to go down here and here for the theater. So the plan is that we have a 2-tile gap on each side. So this one will have a 1-tile gap, and that's okay. But you can see that the theater hits the temple hits almost every single building. I may actually put the theater right here instead of over here. I'm not sure. I think over here would make a whole lot of sense. I mean, we could build. What's actually kind of cool about this, right? If I put it down here, you can see it hits everybody up here. Except for, looks like the one... No, it hits everybody. If I do the temple right here, and I do a theater right here, they could each be their own cool little thing. And I kind of like that. We could put the guild hall down here. That's what we should do. Okay, yeah, so I'll keep to the original plan. 2-tile gap. Perfect, right here. Yeah, this makes the most sense because what we can do now is just have a road between these 2 points. Got kind of a cool little connector piece there. And then fix that up. Beautiful. I really like that. And over here we'll put probably a garden. Down here we'll probably put the guild hall. There's other buildings. I may actually decide to do more root cellars here. We can play it by ear, right? I am going to put some wood up for trade because sometimes they will buy wood. It's rare. But if someone wants to buy it and he's here, I want to be ready. And we have so much wood right now that's going to start coming in. Our forester is doing wonderful. Okay, so let's fast forward. All right, so we made some great decisions here. We got the quarry up. I did get stone cutting to increase mining speed at quarries. Very, very important to do this. We're going to make our way into deep core mines. This is really important. We're getting into smithing and forging, but we have to get these deep core mines to get the iron that we're going to need to make our village sustainable. And we're kind of forgoing some of the things over here. That's all great and dandy. So what we've gotten up so far is I'm getting up 3 charcoal kilns. We're just going to do 1 for now. I'm getting up another wagon shop. Our farms are doing great. We're going to get some more windmills up here. The temple is up. We were able to get 1 relic. It makes our villagers hungry 15% slower. This is called the Teeth of Jonia. I started getting out the other area. I just want to get it formatted so that we're ready to go. Also, the money is really nice to have because you get money per house at the lower stages. And we got a quarry up, which I've maxed out because stone is really, really hard on the plains. This is incredibly important that you make sure you have a deep stone deposit. I wish I had another one. So we're going to have to just go with what we have here. We'll get a guild hall up at tier 3. And then we'll make it so that we have a 30% gain on all of this. That'll be great. Now I can actually get some more of the trees up. We got the arborist up, so we're pulling in a lot of fruit. Now I do a 50-50 design, and this is because when you don't do it this way, so let's actually talk about this. This is good to know, right? So I do half apples and I do half peaches. Now fruit has about a 4-month shelf life. So the way that it works is that you have a spoilage rate. I have a guide on spoilage rates, but I don't know if it's accurate anymore because I feel like spoilage rates have changed. So you have a couple of factors. You have both a tier 1 and a tier 2 root cellar. And just to let you know, they updated it so that the market square acts as a root cellar in terms of spoilage. So a tier 1 market square is equal to a tier 1 root cellar, and a tier 2 market square, which is what you see here, is equal to a tier 2 root cellar. So the higher the tier, the lower the spoilage. And then of course you can also then add barrels, and then of course you can also go to the tech tree and add, and I hope they fixed it because it wasn't working originally. You will unlock barrel making right here, and then you'll unlock wax sealed barrels, which 25% spoilage reduction bonus from barrels, and it just costs 1 wax. Now it had a glitch before where if you enabled this, they would no longer make barrels. I think they fixed it. But that's amazing. That's amazing, right? So you definitely want to try to get that. Definitely want to try to get barrels into the granaries too. But something just to think about is that fruit expires really, really quickly. So that's why we're splitting it. Second reason is if we had all apples, then the 2 workers, they don't get all the apples. They get like 75, 80% of it. So by splitting it, you're focusing those 2 workers on only half as much fruit trees during harvest. So they get 100% of the fruit during that season, and then they get 100% of the peaches. So you're essentially getting all of your fruit, you're maximizing your worker efficiency, and then 2, you're splitting that fruit so it doesn't all just expire in 4 months. So you get half, and then they eat most of it, and then a little bit expires, and then you get another half, and they eat most of it, and a little bit expires. Otherwise, half of it expires because you're yielding all of it at once. So this is incredibly, incredibly important, and it's why I split it this way, is to maximize your worker efficiency. Because if you would just wanted to do one as fully apple, one as fully peach, you would have that, like I said, you'd lose about 20% that way. Now they may have fixed all this, but I'm gonna just keep doing it because there's no penalty if I'm wrong. If I'm right, that means you're getting that efficiency. If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter, right? You're still getting all the fruit. So it's a really easy thing to do to make sure you're getting all of your food. And then 2, I will actually say this. If you are raided, right, your workers won't be out here fighting. So if you're raided during one of the yields, you lose everything. So at least in this, you only lose half because you'll be available for the next harvest. So I still would say, even if they fixed it, there's still a benefit to splitting it like this. So yeah, from my point of perspective, it's a very valuable method. And we want to make sure that we have a lot of wagons. Now, I did put a temp shelter. So remember, they need to eat. So food is brought to the temp shelter. That's why you build them. It's not really, I mean, it's nice to be able to shelter them during all that period. But essentially, when people are hungry, they'll go all the way back to the nearest food source. So you just need one temporary shelter to feed an entire organization. I also put a well out in case they get thirsty. That will keep your workers out there longer. And we do have 8 individuals in the barracks now, so we're going to try to take out this northern raid encampment. So I was told that you still can snipe. You can still snipe everything, but you just got to be really careful. And you have to have visibility. It can be a little tricky. You see, they're charging on in, so this is what's annoying. You just have to kind of get close. Yeah, see, they're still charging in. I think they patched it. I don't think you can do it anymore. I haven't been able to replicate it. Oh, there we go. I may have actually gotten it. Okay, yeah, so you can still snipe the towers. Okay, cool. We took out the tower. but we still didn't take out the camp. So you need to take the camp out, the tower and the camp out. Okay, so you can snipe the tower, snipe the camp, and then you'll take out the individuals. That's the best way to do it right there. Okay, cool. Oh, come on, guys, shoot. There we go. That was beautiful. Okay, so we can still snipe all that. Now, they killed a few villagers. There's a pile of coal up here. I think it's just coal on the ground. I don't know how much coal is actually in this thing. Take a peek. It looks like a little bit of coal. Let's just do it and get the coal out of the ground. Who knows? Maybe it's a lot. And let's do some exploring. Good to explore with a little bit of an army. There are so many... I will say this. You have a lot of deer. I have been selling an insane amount of pelts. So on a plain map, I would stack hunters. One, you're getting the food, but primarily you're getting the pelts. And it's a good early game trade. Now, just to give you a picture, we have 42 laborers and 17 people currently building. Those people will be put back into the labor pool once they're done building, so don't worry about setting this too high. I like to get things built so that people go back to work fast, personally. And we have 20 people in the mines, which is pretty phenomenal. We're building up a lot of clay. I just have passive clay going for when we get to the next stage. I'm kind of like taking my time. I would recommend that you do that. So we're already at 300 pop, and things are getting a little crazy. So there's an infinite clay deposit here. This is good. I don't think... Yeah, over here is going to be great. We're going to have barns and lots of food. We have so many people, and we have so many opportunities. It's pretty crazy. Now, I will say, I am a little scared about this back western half. I want to get this back western area completely discovered. And, ooh, we got some iron down here. Got some coal down over here. For some reason, it's not... Yeah, okay, there we go. For some reason, it's not telling me... There we go, 527. There's a couple... Oh, baby. Do you see this? This is what we needed. So in the southwest quadrant, we have an insane amount of herbs. And that is exactly what we needed. Okay, cool. So what we want to do, too, is make sure we have a road going here so that the people can move here fast. Because look how bad this is. This is a jaunt. But I will tell you, it's worth everything. This is worth all the risk because holy cow. I can't even see the road, but that's good enough for me. If we put a temp... So here's the problem. If I put a temp shelter out here, a wagon's going to have to come down here. Now, there is 1,200 sand. Not really good enough for me. 500 coal. Not really good enough for anyone in the world. That's a terrible investment. Time and people. All right, we're just going to do a little bit of quick exploring. Another infinite coal vein. We have an infinite coal vein next to us. And you can see that firewood is actually going down. Okay, we will do some exploration later, but let's come back over to the firewood situation. I did put 2 individuals. This is why we need to get into deep core mines as soon as possible to get some iron coming in. And right here, the firewood splitter has no impact, so that's great. We're going to put 2 of those up. I'm going to check out this trader. So you can see I'm selling pelts, I'm selling shoes. Now this is kind of chump change. The real economy is going to come, of course, like I said, from boards. So we have 1,600 boards, so we just need 1 gent. I did upgrade the trade post, so we're sitting pretty. We can buy sand, which is a good thing to do later point. We were able to make enough baskets simply buying willow. So even though we don't have willow on the map, it was not hard for us to get what we needed to make baskets. But once we get in the deep core mine, we have 2 points. Okay. So in order to make the deep core mines work, we are going to have to go into deep mine ventilation. But we need to hit tier 4 or accumulate 42 knowledge points invested. So this is the issue. Now, 10% work for firewood. I don't really care about any of that. Furniture production, candle production. We need to start mass producing candles. Okay, well, nothing good is going to come from that area over there. Now, the Beacon of Culture is actually really, really cool because you get the advanced decorations. I'd love to do my entire city with the advanced decorations. So, like, a part of me wants to push for that, right? So, if we go this route, we're going to have to invest a lot of points. And I say we go with increasing research rate first and being able to upgrade the school. So let's shoot for upgrading the school, and then we'll go the other route. This will give us a nice... Yeah, let's get the best decorations. I'm not even going to set up any decorations until I get that first wonder down. And that's actually great because I think we'll put that wonder right here. And I was actually just thinking, like, where are we going to put those other wonders? And so we'll put... We're going to do all 3 wonders in the design here. And we got a good thing. And we're only going to use the coolest decorations in the game. Also, I did remove the roads from up here because we can just put decorations down the middle and make this area look a little nicer. So this is looking perfect and everything is aligned. We're going to copy what we have up here, which is just basically a market, 2 wells, and a healer's house. So we're going to have another healer's house here. You know, you got your festival pole, you got your school, all your basics, and in the inner area, we'll probably do small statues. All villagers have 25% more health. Well, that's not my favorite one to do, but it's not bad. Given everything that's going on, it's better than nothing, and we get that spirituality bonus for having our second relic. Right here, we can buy another knowledge point, so we're definitely going to do that. It was really cheap, $5.95. We could buy some iron. We're most likely going to start buying raw iron from these vendors so that we can start producing our own heavy tools and getting more windmills up. We have 1 heavy tool in reserve, and we're going to keep that. Now, I could just buy basic iron to keep that production going, which is a really good idea. We just bought 51. Let's come up here. The foundry has 2 people in it because we don't have much going on. Yeah, it's 15. So that will allow me to produce a few. So I have them producing heavy tools, and we're just buying the raw iron to do that. 68 just graduated. We got our second point. Okay, so we're going to try to upgrade the school, our school, and immigration rate increase would be pretty dope too. Oh, and look at that. Deep mines. Okay, so we're going to have to table this. We're going to place... Oh, that's pretty good. Sorry. We're going to have to place our next 4 points in the deep mines and the 3 points into accelerating deep core mines. Eventually, we'll need to get into paper production and a lot of jazz. So what you do for this is you have 2 that produce wheat and you have 1 that produces flax. I've been doing cabbage. We're going to start producing flax now that we got the fertility back up, and also so we can start accumulating it, and we can trade it too. But everything here is looking lovely. You can see that food is starting to get a little scary. Getting a little scary. So what we need to do is put up 2 windmills. And flax will help out there. We need to get 2 windmills up, start pumping out way more food. All right, look at that. Deep mines. So now we can start getting the deep mines up. They're very, very expensive. But oh boy, since we don't have anything else, oh my gosh, we need it. So you can place several deep mines. I don't think we're going to need more than 1. But with that said, I think it's smart to plan for 2. And that's the great thing about being able to place a building down and not build it, right? Because you're like, okay, let's just set it up. If I change my mind, I have that option. And right here, we got a cool little thing. We got like a single tile. I don't know. I'm going to plant a tree here. Here we go. Perfect. And then we'll place the road above. All right, so we got 2 there. And it does look like we're going to need a bigger graveyard. Ooh, a graveyard in the town would be really awesome. I think we're going to put graveyards around the temple. Okay, so over here we can fit 3 coal. I don't think... So one thing I have found is that, honestly, charcoal kilns tend to do better than these. So we're not even going to build the charcoal kilns. I mean, sorry, we're not going to build deep core yet until I have the people. I just want the iron. Oopsie daisy. Make sure we disable that. Perfection. Okay. And then my next objective, now I'm realizing all of this awesomeness, is we're going to try to do the coolest graveyard ever. Oh, it's hard. It's hard to do. Okay. Under minimum size. Oh. Yeah, so it's got to be at least 3 tiles wide. A 3x3. That would have been neat. So, with that said, I'm going to convert this whole area into a graveyard. Instead of putting... We'll put the theater down here. I have so much room for all the other triumphs and everything, too. So, what I think is important is making these areas look kind of unique. So, instead of having the dirt road here, we're going to have the dirt road right here. And I'm going to cancel the graveyard because what I want to do also is put a fence around the inner area here to make it look really cool. And, okay, yeah, we're going to do this. It's going to be a small graveyard. There's going to be trees all the way around. So let's actually cut everything down around this point. We're going to have a fence. We're going to have trees. We're going to have nice things out in front. We also want to move this so that it's facing forward. It looks nice, right? Perfect. And for here, we can just use plaza for decorations. Small plaza. That way it looks like a nice little ramp. Beautiful. And tier 3, we just need 3,000 gold. So tier 3 is our next objective. You can see we have quite a bit of trade. This is the nice thing about taking your build slow. I mean, it does seem like I'm going fast, I know, but I really am not for my temperament, right? But this is the nice thing. You can just really focus on what you're trying to do and slowly accumulate the resources to do everything. Let's harvest this area over here. Let's take a peek. We are getting 68 herbs, and we want to prioritize the gathering of herbs. And quite honestly, I don't really care about the fruit. I mean, it's nice to have these things, but in order to protect this man's time, like if we get raided, I just want him focused on the herbs. This is like a thing that I do personally. I just, like, granted, you don't need to do it. It's kind of a compulsive thing. Whenever you get attacked, I just want to make sure that he is just absolutely only focused on what's important to me, which are those herbs. All right, I'm going to leave the people employed here. I hate micromanaging them. We got some more heavy tools. We just need a little bit of iron over here. Okay, so we need iron to get the iron, which is a funny thing. And we need 250 stone per windmill. Okay, we're just going to build one windmill for now. We don't have that much stone. These gents over here are doing a beautiful job pulling in 200 stone a year. It's helping out tremendously, and it's going to be, like I said, one of the detriments. Now, rats could become a problem. We do have 45 gold, so let's get one rat catcher up. And it's good to invest in the 1 point to make... ooh, yeah, we can put a rat catcher right here. All right, it's good to invest. So I think the first rat catcher is going to go around this area over here. I'm going to keep it out of here. I think this is a beautiful place for rat catchers next to the wells. I don't know. It is a good spot. We'll get one up. And this is great. We have so much potential here. But what we do need to start looking at is getting up towers and expanding westward. So we hit the wall up here. We hit the wall down here. If we map all this out, they can't spawn here. And we really want to make sure that when the enemies come, they're coming from this side. Because this is where our defenses are. This is where everything is magical here. I'm kind of thinking, you know, this is going to be the south side. So we're going to have another barracks down here. A lot of pretty stuff in the middle of the village. Probably some more farms. Oh boy, this guy is buying boards. Nice. So when you're in a situation like this, where you have a gent who's buying something that you have thousands of like this, you want to take advantage of that. We're going to buy an insane amount of iron. Not that crazy. Probably all of it to spice things up. We already got some clubs. I could buy tools. We're not at a stage where I can do that too well right now. Okay, so we're going to get all the money we can from boards. I'm not going to sell him any hides or pelts or shoes. Oh, we don't have hides. Okay, that's another thing we need to do. So let's focus on the industry at this point. There's a lot that we can do. Now that we have a ton of herbs, we have a ton of everything else, we're going to get the weaver up. So all of this stuff is going to come into play down here. And you can see, oh, this is perfect. Yeah, this is the 6 tile wide area. You can put the 2s up top and the 4x3s down here. We're going to get a weaver. And we're going to get 2 candle shops here. We're going to need 2 candle shops. We're going to get a soap shop up. Now, the soap shop does have a negative, but don't worry about it. This is the perfect spot for it. It does need water. So we'll put a well in the design. I'm going to put a well down here. And I'll put a well down here. Now, the tannery, you can see, has a huge negative. We're going to put the tannery right here in the back. And I feel like we need to start slapping up the mass storage situation. So, we got a vault up not more than a second ago. Let's get the storehouse up. Storehouse here, storehouse here. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Storehouse is all around. And then in the corner here, we can get one more storage depot. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah, we'll get a few of these up. Perfect. Just smash all this full. I'm going to delete this road because I'm seeing some opportunity here. We got a 3x3. Whenever you have a 3x3 like that, That means that we can have an inner tower here to kind of help out when they break in and are beating on our areas here. I like this. It's a central tower. And then we can have a road down. Perfect. Okay. All right, so that is a lot for them to build up. Sell the remaining boards. Beautiful. We'll just continue to do that. We're in good shape. All right, so we're going to keep building everything out, and we're going to do a little bit of a fast forward here in a moment. All right, so I did want to build the quarry out more intelligently than what we have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have stockyards that are dedicated to stone here. And what we're going to do is actually build this road up and then build the stockyards on either side of it. I like having access points everywhere, right? Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. So both of these stockyards are going to be set up for stone. All right, 11 people want to come. And there we go. So what we want to do is just say raw material stone. And they should know what to do. I don't think you have to disable stone storage at other locations. They should just bring it to the closest source. And that will save a huge trip. And there we go, 213. Beautiful. I did put some points in. Boom. 3 out of 3 on deep mines. That's 45% mine speed at deep mines. That's exactly what we need. We have our iron mine going full speed. I threw everybody in. We pumped up our numbers on the foundry. We're producing a little bit of iron. Starting to produce a little bit of heavy tools. And then I'll start producing tools here soon. So the strategy for tools is, I'd say per 1,000, if you go over 1,000 people, you're going to need a second blacksmith for tools. Is just buy all the tools until everyone has one. And whatever blacksmith you have producing tools is easily going to be able to keep up. But it takes way too long to catch up if you already don't have those tools. So it's a pretty simple strategy. Purchase a bunch of tools, get everyone set up, and then just start pumping them out. You'll never have to think about it again. But if you go over 1,000 pop, you're going to need at least 2 blacksmiths doing that. And this is looking sharp. Like I said, this is going to be really cool when we get it done. All right, 366 stone. That means one more windmill. We want to make sure we're starting to really pump out the flour. We have 3 bakeries, so each one should have at least 2 people. Pumping out that bread. We want to make sure that we are getting everyone full up. And, ooh, we should probably start upgrading wells here in a little bit once the iron starts flowing in. I think in the second, we'll do bakery here and then tavern here. I might actually switch these out. Like, I might put the bakery here, right? Have a tavern. Like, have them kind of parallel each other, bounce off. That way we have a little bit of a synergy, but we're definitely going to have booze houses everywhere. And we do need to get tools going as soon as possible because we're losing so much productivity. And it's really easy to get tools at a perfect equilibrium once you get things going. And we're going to slide the rat catcher. Now, we just want to protect our food. That will reduce a lot of disease, so we're going to position it like so. I might actually just position it, take the market and all this. This is a good spot right here. Gets a lot of critical infrastructure. And there's our 3,000 for tier 3. A beautiful day. Let's do it. And now that we have maxed out everything here, we are going to focus on getting our first beacon of culture so that we are only placing the best decorations in the game. And this is going to take some time. All right, so this is a beautiful representation. We're only on year 33 and I'm at 452 pop now. They're coming in hot. We got 3 more farms out. We're ramping up big time. Each one of these is matched parallel. So we're going to have quite a bit of paper and clothing production. And we just need to keep growing into the build. Now, what's cool about this is you can kind of just sit back, relax, watch everything go, you know, pop on a movie in the background is kind of what I tend to do, and just let these things start accumulating. So right now I have 3 brickyards, and yes, I need that many brickyards. I have a standard clay mine over here that's almost completely done, and what we did is we actually have a deep core clay vein over here that we have a full staff in, getting 344. So we're making our way towards getting the beacon of culture so that we can have the best decorations in the game, just to make this build look cool. It has really no strategic value. You don't even need those things. I would love to get the guild hall up, which would require me to do 1 point in bookbinding. So if we can get the guild hall up, we can increase our mining by 30%, which is very substantial, especially when you're doing these passive kind of things. Now, we did upgrade to a smeltery, which is the tier 2. I do have a paper mill going now. We need to kind of increase that. We're going to have a lot of flax coming in, an enormous amount of flax. And this is a big city. It's going to be, you know, probably around 2,000 souls. And 20, look at this, a wave of 27. So when you have available housing, you can get some pretty darn big waves, and you can grow very quickly. We're going to get a second weaver up. I'm going to put the weaver right here, right across the street from the other one. Oh, that's a tanner. The weaver, yeah, we have a weaver right here. We're going to have 2 of these. We're going to have so much flax. I want to be making a lot of shirts. We need to make sure we're making as much money as possible. I want to get into booze production. I want to get into a lot of stuff. So we have this whole inner area here to do our heart's content. Now, most of the storage is right around here. So we do want to keep a lot of these buildings a little closer. I may end up having to put some more buildings around these parts, simply to keep that proximity, but we can play this by ear. Right now we have quite a bit. And we've pretty much filled out the logistical area. This is a good start. It's a very good start. We're definitely going to upgrade our Fletcher now and start making crossbows. We've upgraded all of our markets to tier 2 market squares. We're pulling in a lot of money just from the market squares and having these awesome areas. But we're going to need to amass probably 5,000 bricks. That's going to take some time. What I'm hoping to do at this point is continue to buy tools. We are producing our own tools, but we need to make sure everyone has tools, and then we can produce at the rate they're being depleted. And look at that, we got ourselves another point. We're really close to getting the Beacon of Culture. So I'm on the fence because there are quite a bit of points we need before Beacon of Culture. I think we are going to go into guilds next, and then we'll go back to getting the Beacon of Culture, simply because I want to make sure while we're sitting here passively mining things that we're getting the most we can out of them. And 2, I want to be able to make sure I put the guild hall in to the build. So we do have a spot now that we can place the theater. We're going to place the theater right here. Let's actually make sure that it's facing, right? Oh, it faces the corner. Okay, well, that's fine. It can face the corner this way. We'll get that theater up. Now, the theater and temple are 2 decorative buildings I can place that will help us level these houses. But I'm holding off until we get the tier 2 decorations because I want to just have the best decorations in the game here. And we still have plenty of space to put things in the middle. I'm thinking about putting a large statue in the middle of one of these. But I want each one of these to have its own unique thing. And what's awesome about the deep stone quarry is we are pulling in so much stone. Been able to update majority of the roads here. And I think it's time also... Oh, what happened here? That's one thing when you walk away. The barracks was destroyed a little bit ago. So let's fill out. Let's get a full barracks. Make sure we have a full standing army. And let's make sure that each of these towers has 2 individuals placed into them. Now, we are a really large city, meaning that these raids are going to start getting a little crazy. And since we have a good fund of wealth, we're going to start placing some more towers. Place 2 more towers right now. Get some gates on those. And now that we're producing our own heavy tools and we have infinite iron, we're going to boot both of these saw pits up to the next tier. I did get a sand pit going. We're going to need a glass maker here shortly. Furniture workshop would actually be pretty wise. Let's put that right here. Get 2 of them. We're going to be producing more boards than we know what to do with, and furniture is a wonderful trade item. But yeah, we have a wonderful area that we can just continue to grow. And we're actually going to need to destroy this road and get this straight because I actually have a lot more industry that I need to place over here. Fletcher has been upgraded, so we are going to put a cap on how many crossbows at 40. And we're going to boot this up to 4 people making everything. And we'll definitely want to make crossbows more than bows, and we want to make arrows more than anything. And we need to slowly start upgrading every single root cellar, so I'll be doing that in the background. And there we are. We have plenty of herbs now. We have a good trade economy. This is beautiful. And I'm thinking about purchasing some of this clay, I'm not going to lie. because we're just trying to produce so many bricks right now. But we'll hold off. Right now we need to kind of grow the economy. We have honey. I want to get into booze production here pretty soon. And that's only 1 point. So I may just do guilds and then brewing, and then we'll go back to Beacon of Culture. And that way we can grow our economy while we wait. But we'll just do another little fast forward here and get a lot more done. All right, entirely exciting stuff has happened. Got the guild hall up, moved the academy here behind the theater. We're gonna make this all pretty. Gives us this nice blank space here, but right here is gonna be our southern defense. We've also put forward outposts, and what this does, as you can see, is it illuminates the entire area. Now they shouldn't be able to spawn here. If they do, we can fix it. But essentially, if the area you're looking at is visible, the raiders can't spawn there. So you can force the raiders to spawn from the direction you want doing this. It's a bit tedious, but when you're doing big builds like this, it's highly advantageous to do so. Then you just disable the lookout tower, but you get the benefit of everything. So we need to put lookout towers through both the northwest, the north, and probably a bit of the southeast here. I want all the enemies to spawn in the eastern side here and come in. And then once we get that all hammered out, we can do a little bit more. I made a slight mistake here, so I'm having to move all these houses up, but you won't see all that in the video. It's very boring. And, you know, we're getting everything in order. And we're on the last part of it, so I'm just going to move these real quick. But yeah, we have a nice little area here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this side of it. I'm thinking about doing kind of like an octagon fort down here. We're running out of some room. I did get 2 breweries up. We're going to be producing a lot of grain. I'm also getting up 4 more 12 by 24s because we're getting a little low on food. We're at 693 pop. I also was able to get 2 of the cattle areas up. So we have 2 spots up here that we're going to do cows in. I need to get chickens and we need to get eggs because you need eggs to make the pastries. So right now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put the chickens, and I'm actually thinking somewhere around here. And I think we're going to do another chicken paradise kind of scenario here. What I'd like to do is have the coop here and then its area right behind it. So I'm going to get this up and see what we can do here. We need to fence in these areas. So you can see here I've fenced in all of this so the cows can't run amok. Fencing is really, really, really important for this. And so I may need to remodel some of this. You know, we have the quarry here. I'm trying to keep everything as close together as possible. But we have this whole back area to just mass produce chickens and make a lot of eggs. Now, our regular mines are starting to run out, as you can see. I already ran out of the clay. And I will tell you that these deep core mines, when you have everything set up proper, and I'll show you my setup for this, are insane. We pulled in 550. We have a heavy tool that needs to come into this building, and then we'll be up to speed again. But we are at 550 freaking clay per year there. You see over here, 364 iron. That's actually really, really decent. And stone has not been a problem because we're pulling in quite a bit of it. I did get another logging camp up here going. So we're kind of getting low on wood. And that is because we do have a third sawmill going. So eventually we'll need to start putting planks into the furniture workshop, but right now I've been selling them and funding the majority of this build. Now the moment of truth is that I have got the Beacon of Culture unlocked, so now we can build that in its place. So I'm thinking this whole area down here is going to be all 3 of the monuments. This is going to be a defensive area, and I'm going to move these hunters out of the way. So the first wonder you can see is a 5x5, so we have enough place for all of these in the design. And I want to make sure we have room on each side of equal proportion. So this is looking good. So we need 12,000 for this one. Yeah, and we'll be able to stack all 3 of them together and have a nice decorative area around it. But this is all looking good. We're going to have fencing around all these areas. Right now this is looking a little bare bones, but trust me, like I have a vision, and that vision is awesome. And we're going to make all of this look really cool. Okay, we got this corrected now. It's still a 4x4, so that's beautiful. We just moved everything up a little bit. And here, we're going to create our star fort. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is do cornering like this. So 4 tiles in and out. Keep it uniform. Perfect. Okay. We'll try to line up the gateway with the gateway up here. Ah, it's 5. There we go. So that's 5. So actually, a single gate right here is going to be ideal for it to line up. Nope, that's not true. Yeah, the double gate right there. Perfect. That gives us 4 on each side. Perfection. And we're going to have barracks and towers in here. Okay, they're getting ready for crop assignment. But boom. This is beautiful. Yeah, we'll get these areas up. We'll get everything out of them. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm about to go crazy. Like, literally crazy. We're going to have probably a push to 1,000 population here relatively soon. We're going to get all these farms up. We got them all fenced in now. This is getting up down here. We're selling a lot of hooch now. Alcohol is one of the best trade items in the game. We're going to get pubs up here in a bit, but right now I'm actually making more money from selling it. We're producing enough tools. Everybody's happy. We're producing enough of everything. I was able to get the second foundry up now, so we're going to crank that up to maximum people. And get this full. We're just going to make sure everything up here is producing. We do have 2 bookbinders starting to make books, and once we get this wonder up, which is going to cost us an arm and a leg, and a lot of iron, we're going to be in really good shape. So we're just going to keep funneling all the money we can in shirts. We've really ramped up the economy. So you can see what I'm selling here is alcohol, shirts, a little bit of soap. Probably going to start going into candle production here for trade as well. And boards. I've been selling an immense amount of boards. I've been selling furniture because we're not even tier 3 housing. So I'm not really concerned with the tier of housing and all that because I'm pulling in so much money. And here's the chicken coop. So you can see that it is a 7 by 7. So I need a 14 by 14 clear area for this to work right. Now the farming tool is really good for this stuff, right? So 14 by 14. Not bad. Yeah, we have what we need for this. Okay. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to put chicken land over here in this massive area back behind all this stuff. Now, another cool thing is we can technically do more apiaries here. That's probably a wise thing to do, to be honest. So we're going to have fencing around everything. And I think we're going to have 3 arborists worth here. And we're going to start moving everything into position. Now, for this fence, we're actually going to do it out of stone. Just because I think it's going to look cooler. And we'll do a hedge fence gate. I also just kind of like to do a blank canvas thing. I'm going to have them come in here and cut it all down. Another fence gate up. All right, we're going to have 12 coops in total. 6 on each side. Okay, we'll get the back fence through this area. I actually want to do a gate on the very end and have a road going through the gated area. I just think it will look cool. No real reason. We've been accumulating an immense amount of sand so that when we're ready for the glass blower, we can start doing that as well. I'm going to need around 5,000 bricks or more for the build. We're just going to keep going that. I love these deep core mines now. They actually made it useful. So, sorry, I forgot. Let's talk about what I'm doing. So, I have a guild hall up. I'm feeding it paper. That's giving us a miner's guild bonus of 30%. Then, in technology, I have a couple things going for us. One is that I've maxed out deep mine ventilation to 45%. I've also gone down here to stone cutting, which gives 20% mining speed at the quarries. This helps with the stone. And it also helps you with just basic stone deposits on the surface. Now, another thing that you definitely want to do, make sure that you get advanced metal casting for durability of tools and heavy tools. This will help you out tremendously. And another cool thing about going into Beacon of Culture is that you have to get masonry, which reduces the brick cost for all buildings, which is going to be immense. Just immense. That's huge for what we're trying to do here. We're going to increase our immigration rate by 15%, though. I'm going to spend a point on that. And then I got to kill some animals. And there's one animal that made it in here when I was redoing the fences. Alright, and then the last expansion down here. And we'll have our last crops. This will be amazing. It is a lot of food. It is a lot of food, more food than I think I know what to do with, but whatever. Once we get the weeds down, we'll be in good shape. And look at that, so many shirts to sell. It's actually quite easy to make money at this stage. And we have lots of tools. We got, actually, it looks like coal is going down. We had hundreds of coal and we weren't even selling it. So let's make sure we're producing because we did get those foundries up. I'm actually going to build the next charcoal kiln. We did upgrade all of the firewood splitters so that we have a ton of them. Yeah, and this is going to be amazing when it's done. Our little chicken area. But that does call into question that potentially we do need to kind of get this stuff looking a little pretty. I'm going to move this over one tile. I want to be able to get a road going down the center here. We're probably going to need some food storage over here. Alright, and this is actually looking pretty snazzy. So let's work on the defensive area over here. Now I'm actually going to put the walls 2 tiles out so that we can do this proper. Last time I did this, it didn't look very good. So yeah, we need to go parallel 2 tiles away like this. It looks like I did it right. Perfect. Alright, we're not going to do cav here. We're going to do barracks. So I want to get this aligned really decently. Looks like we can do 2 barracks here with the 2 tile gap on each side. I'm liking that. And the reason I'm liking that is because I think I can put a tower in the cracks. Yes, look at that. Perfect. Little cubbies. Little cubbies on both sides, which means I can put 4 towers in here. There's a 1 tile gap up there, 2 tile gap down here. That's good enough. Okay, get them doors on. Looking sharp. Use the big gates down here because we can. And I like to put gates blocking areas because if they break in through the wall, they can run around all they want. When you put this, it limits them, keeps them in one area. It's very smart to do this. We'll just do the gates there, and I think that's good enough. This will be a really strong fortified area. Put some plazas and some decorations on the corner pieces, and it'll look great. But that will help us defend the southern area. So we do need to come up here and do some exploring and get some more towers up here. So you can just kind of do it. We're probably going to take the army out, though. I'm sure there's a few more camps. I've killed 2 raider camps off screen. They're really, really easy to kill if you just snipe the buildings first. Oh, yeah. Chicken land is looking pretty darn impressive. So essentially, I just need to get them chickens rolling in. Passively update that in the background. Then we'll have more eggs than we know what to do with. We're going to have a lot of grain because we got the 4 new fields. And we need it because we're going to increase alcohol production substantially. Alcohol is a massive part of the economy in this game. They've really made it just one of the best things to do. It's hands down the best trade item for so many reasons. If you mass produce it, you can put, like, I think you get 1 or 2 gold trading it at the pub. But you can get 5 gold if you trade it, you know, via trade. So, I mean, honestly, selling it is the most lucrative thing you can do. I don't even think the guys are going to be able to get up here. This is so far away. So, I mean, that's ideal, right? We're going to kill all these wolf dens back here. All right, wolf dens gone. That way my men can come back here in peace. We're going to get rid of the boar spawns, the wolf dens, kill all the aggressive animals in this area. All right, look at that. So we got most of this all. We need to make sure that there are no towers, though. So in order to get this area to, up to speed, you can just place a dude here. Remember we put that point to make it so we could see further, so that means we need, like, substantially less lookout towers. We got a good thing going on. I mean, the industry is awesome. I really like this setup. This area is doing great with the industrial workers being there. And we're at 766 population. We have all the houses, but they're still at tier 1 and tier 3. So when we start upping this, we're going to hit 2,000 pop. We're going for 2,000 pop. We will hit 2,000 pop in this video. So keep watching. And I've just been buying barrels. Okay. So that's where we are. We're going to fast forward now. And I'm going to do a bunch of stuff in the background. All right, big moves. Farming is all up to speed now. We have an insane amount coming in. Finish this, so we have a nice little paved area out here with 2 empty barracks, but we have 4 towers. We mapped out almost the entire map with towers, so they can only spawn in this blank area. So I'm going to place another tower down here, And I'm going to leave it so that they can only come from this part right here. And most likely we'll put a forward outpost to kind of help fight that off. But we'll have back outpost here. We finished the first civic monument, technically beating the game. It's actually pretty easy to beat the game now. I added pubs and bakeries alternating out through all of these areas here. So some of these houses are at tier 2 and tier 3. So we're going to get up to tier 5 here in a moment. Need to upgrade these 2 roads. We need to get some chickens, but we have the chicken coop area. So that's going to be awesome. I'll need to max out the workers here. We're kind of low on people, so I'm staying away from that. We still need some cows. We're going to probably do cheese making in this area. I'm just doing the one root cellar here is just a stationary place. But all this is gravy. I started putting in some trees into the industry area to make it look a little bit nicer. We actually maxed out the large stockyards, so I'm building 2 more stockyards. We have an insane amount of wood planks, which does mean I need to go all in on furniture. This is going to be pretty vital to generating luxury taxes and also as a trade item. I started getting the deep coal mine up because we were running out of coal. And you can see the deep core mines are pretty good when you have all the tech points and you have a guild hall and everything running. So right now I'm pushing to tier 4, which means I need a massive amount of money. So we do have some people coming into the town. I need about 6 grand. I got about 2,000. We're producing 3,500 booze, so that's why I had to add the pubs. I'm at a point now where I just need to get everybody going. So once I hit 6K, we're booting up 6,500, I should say. We're getting to tier 4, and at tier 4, we'll unlock more tech points. We've done quite a bit. We've got alcohol production, you know, guilds up here, the beacon of culture. Everything up here is pretty much unlocked except for some. This one might actually be good. 20% wood. We don't have any gold to get work to produce firewood. That's a good one for a later stage. And then I'm also making my way up to stone walls and arrow loops, and then citadels. So I kind of want to get those up. And I think that'll be a good touch for everything. Villagers are dying from illness, old age. We actually have 2 healer's hut. I'm going to have 2 upgraded healer's hut because, you know, diseases do happen. We need to also make sure we're upgrading these wells. I want to make sure people have access to a lot of water. Unfortunately, I had to upgrade all the wells over here. We also filled up the granary. We have so much alcohol production. They're just using so much water. This, to me, feels like enough windmills. It's 7, and so that's about 6 to 7,000 flour a year. That's 6 to 7,000 bread. That's quite a bit of bread. We do need it. Food is kind of scarce. We need to start upgrading some of these other buildings. We're making a lot of great strides. We just need to get the big part is getting the chickens going. I also desperately need to figure out what I'm going to do about glassware. Now, I did find like another deep stone mine here, but it's so far away that I don't think it's worth it. It's just too far away. We actually don't even need too much stone. There is a sand pit down here with 4,200 sand, so I think we're going to get that going right now. We do have a road coming down here. We will put a temp shelter and a well so that they have food and water down here. Get that connected. Boom, boom, boom. It's a long trek. I'm going to upgrade this to stone to make it a little bit faster for them. Once we get the walls in, then we can start decorating. So I did put down the extravagant small park, which you can see is really expensive to upgrade, but has a little bit better desirability. So I destroyed the other parks, put up a few extravagant parks, and we're only going to use extravagant decorations for the remainder of this build. So I had to hold off on everything, and now we can finally utilize all of this. Now, we haven't put too much points into food production. I am quasi-concerned. We're going to hit, for sure, 2,000 pop, but I think we can transfer some of the grain into meat production. I will say that most likely what I'm going to need to do over here, outside of having cheese and all that kind of stuff, is we're going to need to line some smokers down here. So we're going to do 6 smokers right here, and I'm going to place a road. That's kind of cool. I'll upgrade this road later. I know you can select stone road and just build it stone off the bat, but I don't care too much right now. I like the way that the stone fencing looks. I kind of want to do stone fencing around the entire perimeter of the farm because I think it looks cool too. But we'll leave it where it is for now. I want to get this upgraded. I really like the way the industry sector is coming along. I think it's doing a great job. We're going to upgrade these stockyards because we're really low on storage. And I do have a coal quota of 2,000. I think that's good. So they'll turn off after a period. Now, the sand pit here is almost drained, so that's great. We need to get glass making next. So that will be another thing that I do is get the glass maker up. But yeah, beautiful. I also got 2 more compost yards down here on the south side to help out. I can't wait to get these inner courtyards all beautified and just have this massive massive city. And we got lots of fruit, that's for sure. But this is going to work out real well. I'm going to need to start getting up some rat catchers here soon. Starting to get some rats. And it does look like I'm actually going to need more root cellars, so that's a problem. So I had to put 2 granaries out here. These guys are full. This is going to be full. This is going to be full. So I think we're going to start putting some root cellars up in this area here. Not a bad spot. Put a couple. And we do have lots of cash, so let's put some rat catchers, 3 of them, and we'll assign them all in this area here. Got some more rat catchers in this side. I'm going to place these gents down here. I think our next point is actually going to go into making the rat catchers bigger so I can get more bang for my buck. But yeah, those 5 should do it. And the mini-map looks really neat. You can see all the roads, all the doodads. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm thinking another fort at the end of the farm over here would be pretty darn cool. And I mean a big fort. I mean like a star fort, like right here. If we pull this all out and they can only come from the north and we have a giant star fort here, it's going to be awesome. It may even be smart to place the fort and defenses right here on the north side. So I'll have to think about that. Like at the... Yeah, actually... It's not a bad spot for it. But it would kind of make sense to have it here. And yeah, look at that trade. So much good trade. Primarily, though, money is the big thing we need right now. Got a lot of flax. More than I thought we'd have. We can start selling flax for sure. We're selling books. Clothing can be sold. So much to trade. And we have 6,000 flour. Yeah, we're not even keeping up with flour production. So each one of these bakeries, we have 4 of them. We're making about 4,000 bread. We may need to upgrade these guys to tier 2 as fast as possible. Actually, that's not true. We do have a 5th bread maker right up here. So we should be able to make 5,000 bread a year. We're going to up book production. Alright, look at that. That dude's buying a lot of booze. And a stack of booze goes for 3,500. So this is some serious money. We could buy armor. Doesn't look like our people are even wearing it. I've been buying barrels instead of making them. There's 77 barrels for us. That's a lot. It's kind of easier just to buy them than make them sometimes. Only when you have so much cash that you're just like, what do I do with all this? So we have all the money we need to upgrade to tier 4 now. I'm actually going to throw all the money we have into the town because we're going to need it for the upgrades. And let's do this. Tier 4 it is. Oh, boom. Prioritize that. Look at that. Okay. So now we can assign all our rat catchers. So we have 1 rat catcher that is going to take over this area here. That's beautiful. We do have the 1 point now. So let's actually put this. So this skill, ratting dogs, gives you a 20% work effective area for your catchers. So that is huge. Look at that. It's actually, it feels like more than 20%, but I guess it is only 20, but I don't know, man. It's pretty big. Okay. And then you can see, look at that. You can almost fit the whole area. That's pretty good. So we got everything there. We got everything over here. I'm going to take this area. We actually don't need any more. Okay. So we don't even need this last one here. Up. Yeah, we'll take 10 people. We're going to move him over here. And we're going to bust this out to have more storage. This is perfect, because we're going to need a lot of storage over here anyway for all the food and the eggs. So we might as well get our use out of this thing that we just built. And yeah, let's do it. Let's just deck this area out and back up storage, because we're going to have the meat smokehouses here going like crazy. This is beautiful. All right, we got it going on. Now I just need to get me some chickens up in here. You have a chicken, sir? Chicken. All right, so this guy has 2 cows. Perfection. And he's buying shirts. We have hundreds of shirts. All right, we'll get the 2 cows. And, oof, he's also buying alcohol. Does he have anything else that I really, really need? Not necessarily. Plus, yeah, we don't really need the relic, but I do want my monies. Okay, and then it put the 2 in this barn. Let's make sure that this barn is full up on people. Oh, that's actually a good idea, me. Let's make sure we have a couple of backup granaries over here for some storage. Okay, and let's upgrade our root cellars. Got ourselves another knowledge point, probably from a building we put up. I always forget you can get deep wells too, 3 tiers of it. But there's a few things we need to do. I think I'm going to get carry capacity for wagons up. I just realized, I mean, we have a lot of wagons, but we have so many mines going. Ooh, this is a new one. Yeah, we have so many mines going. I want to make sure that our wagons are carrying as much as possible. And the graveyard's getting a little full. We might have to build a crypt. Definitely want to start upgrading these wells as fast as possible, too. The big kicker now is going to be decorating the middle of all of these. But we have all the extravagant decorations now. Oh, yeah, look at that. We're moving on up. Ooh, and we can get an upgraded barn. We're going to upgrade this barn once we get everybody in it. And I think the taverns, you can see we're getting 252. We're getting 120 of that from pubs. So that is funny. And yeah, as we upgrade and get into tier 4, we're going to get massive luxury taxes. Trying to figure out what to put down here. Now I do have some shrines that I'm, one that's upgraded, one over here. We're almost at tier 4 and we haven't even really put that many decorations down, which is the funny thing. We're for sure going to upgrade the temple. And we are for sure going to upgrade the theater. Those are 2 things with far reach. We got a festival pole down here. Let's upgrade the one up here as well. I've upgraded both hospitals now. So let's make sure that those are fully staffed. So we have the infrastructure to save quite a few people if we get an illness coming in. And we have more people than we have housing. All right, let's get a stone wall up over here. Or stone roadway up. Walls will be next. We get the tech point. This is looking good. And yeah, we're going to have some kind of defense out here. Yeah, this is fantastic. I think we have exactly the amount of infrastructure we needed. I was worried I wouldn't be able to fit everything. Looks like storage was actually kind of the bigger kicker. Once these get up, that's going to be huge. And then it's just going to be decorating every single thing out. So sit right there. And yeah, we're just going to fast forward real quick. All right. So they did break in through the top part up here. So I got to get one. Oh, they got my freaking tower. Yeah. You got to be careful. There was a little bit of a gap they were able to get in. So you got to get the whole dang thing. I might have a problem here if I don't do this part right. But this looks good to me. But they're coming in hot. So I did get a diamond fort out over here. So this is cool. So we got 2 towers on each of the ends and 4 barracks if I decide to populate those. Got 2 barracks down here. Don't think we'll ever have to use this. So it's kind of just for show at this point. I was getting started on a nice little fenced in area. We're going to start decorating it. So we're going to be fencing in, decorating all of these. They're going to look cool as hell. And 92 books is worth 8 grand. Wow. And this guy has 5. Wow. Quite a bit. And we're starting to make glassware. We're starting to make preserves now over here. And this is going to start ramping up into us making the pastries for tier 5 housing. But we are about to get flooded. I don't think our defenses are going to hold very well against this. I've been in La La Land making things pretty. So we'll see what happens. They do have, I believe, battering rams. Oh, they have something a little bit worse than a battering ram. Okay, they got a kata. So they're probably going to burn down a couple things. If I sally out to get the kata is probably going to do some damage. I'm just going to have to let it happen. And we need to kill as many of these gents as possible. So they're going to steal a lot of iron and some tools, and that's okay. What's actually kind of interesting is when they do steal from you, it's not always a bad thing, right? Because they typically take off. So they stole so much iron from me. And yeah, the caddis are coming in, hitting hard. The industry area up here is getting burned. So that's the importance of controlling these points up here, is making sure they do not come from this direction. So we were not prepared. I was prepared for every direction but north. So maybe I need to just build a fortification up north just to hold the line. I think that would be a wise idea just in general. So before they get to the central location, we can at least thin the herd a little bit, you know? So there's quite a bit of them, but to be honest, we have 12 people in the barracks there. We got this thing in the back. We got multiple towers full up on people. The damage is really modest right now, to be quite honest. This is a... Compared to how many raiders we got at us? 146 raiders? Yeah, we're melting them. This is beautiful. Just a couple of, you know, houses of people that we don't particularly care. They work in my mines. Okay, yeah, we got the battering ram. They did take out the blacksmiths, though. And that actually kind of sucks, because the heavy tools... That's why I set my heavy tool quota to 20 now. What happens is if something needs a heavy tool and you don't have a heavy tool to rebuild, you can find yourself in a bad situation. Okay, so we have this fortress. Now, this fortress north isn't going to have a barracks. I think it's just going to be your standard fortress. So that's cool. It's just going to be a little cool little place that I build up. So we'll start on that here in a second. Wanted to show you that raid. All right, we haven't got any chickens yet. It's travesty. So let's see if we can get some chickens. No chickens, but lots of barrels. We're going to buy all these barrels for 2 grand. 60 barrels for 2 grand. Good deal. Candles. Let's start selling candles. Let's start selling everything we possibly can. We're still full up on food. We're doing great. I got my glass maker. Okay, that actually sucks because that glass maker was expensive. And we'll need to get these towers up ASAP. Okay. Well, I feel good about us getting everything under control up there. But yeah, we definitely need to defend the north. We have plenty of money, and we're going to have even more money when I'm done. And we definitely want to make sure every one of these towers has 2 people in it. Because this tower right here, once I upgrade all this to stone walls, this is going to melt. It's going to melt any army that comes at it. What's kind of cool is you don't have to fill out all of your barracks. Like, I could just put 4 archers in each barracks and call it a day. We do need to purchase Gildor's coin purse, and we need to level up the tech tree, because there are techs that actually lower the cost of soldiers, too. You can make this work for you. Oh, we got some heat stress going on in them carrots. I should probably rethink the carrots. Yeah, the carrots were at a bad time. All right, I'll switch those around. And I'm just praying for chickens. Lord bless me with chickens, please. I might have to just order chickens at this point. We have the money. So we're going to pay some premium chicken prices here. Okay, yeah, we're going to request chickens in the next purchase. We need to get this going. We have the cash. We'll just throw it in. Let's throw 4 grand into the town for helping with upgrades. You can see we're getting a lot of houses. Now, like I was saying earlier, it does look nicer when the houses do face the direction of the road. It doesn't really matter that they face that direction, but it does look way cooler. So I'm going to spend some time correcting all of this, and we'll just get everything facing a cool direction. You can see the town is really starting to come together, starting to get huge. We're running a little low on wood. I did get that second forester up, but it's still out here planting trees, so it's got a ways to go. It's going to be a bit before this is all in gear, but once it's up, it's going to be pulling in another like 300. And I think that's more than sufficient. 11 kids just grew up. So kids are growing up like crazy now. So we're at 900 pop. But we got 129 children, 83 infants. So that's several hundred people who are not in the workforce and will be. So we have 87 laborers. Everything's built out. We definitely need a lot more people. And we're producing quite a bit of stuff right now. I think we're finally at that point where everything is being produced in the exact quantity needed, plus a lot more for trade. So we don't need to ramp up too much. I did get a second cobbler going because I think we need a lot of shoes. The candles, we need to get candles at max production because I think we have a lot of wax. I have an insane amount of apiaries all scattered throughout, and I keep them close to the farmers because the farmers are the ones who pick it up, and it works well this way. They get a huge bonus from those fields. And look at that, we can get the tier 2 bakers. All right, so we're going to go tier 2 bakers on everything and start making pastries, start making more bread. I want to make a lot more bread. Get them going. May need to purchase some glass just to streamline everything. And we have a lot of heavy tools. So let's get the blacksmiths back in gear. I'm actually going to put our heavy tool quota to 30 because we just have so many things that require it. And normal tools, we're going to put these to 200. What happens is you just need a reserve of things. 20 swords is, in my opinion, probably enough. But we are getting to the point where we're going to have a lot of people. I need to probably get an armory here in a second. All right, so we got everything. But yeah, see this black area up here? This dark area? This is where they got me. So we need to prioritize getting this up. And there is an infinite sand right there. If I do ever require it, that would be the place to go. I'm gonna just... Oh, it's just so far away from all civilized society. Okay, they can actually spawn in this dark corner down here. So let's get another tower down here. I do not want them spawning down here. I want them spawning in this dark area right here. Oof. Yeah, that's risky. Let's not chance it. Let's get a tower there as well. And yeah, it looks like this is the end. So there's no dark spots here they can spawn in. I think we're good. Yeah, it's just right there. That gets the majority of this stuff. And just make sure that you're disabling these towers. You can just cycle through all your towers at a later point. Fortunately, I have so many that this is actually quite obnoxious, but I actually had quite a few of these on when I rebuilt them. Okay, and now we got rid of that whole fog of war. There's a little lip right there, but this tower right here should get it. We're good. Okay, we got everything. So the northern area up here, that's going to need a defensive point. And we want it to look cool. I'm going to move the hunter cabin up out of the way. Okay, we're just going to do a really basic fort here. It's just going to be something to stop the enemy in their track from destroying more buildings. And we can sally out our armies accordingly. Also going to get up just a little bit of walling, a little bit of sideways action going on here. Nothing fancy. We're running out of wood. That always sucks. Okay, we're going to need to use our workforce to get a ton of wood. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to get it from. We got a big old place down here to get some stuff. That would work. Let's just get all this. We'll catch up here in a bit. Sometimes when you spend all this wood, you just gotta take it. Now, there is a man with some premium chickens. The 207 a chicken is robbery. We're going to buy 20 chickens, and we're going to replenish our funds selling boards. That's a pretty good trade for me. Boards for chickens. Gotta love this economy. And, ooh, he's spying all my candles, and he's got 4,400. Or sorry, 5,400. We got a little bit of glassware to trade. Let's do that. Glassware is a great trade item. So is furniture. I'm going to actually trade majority of my luxury goods. He does have a book of knowledge. We're going to purchase this book. That is a good skill point right there for us. Oh, luxury goods last 20% longer. We have to purchase this. We have to purchase this. So let's give it a second. I need a little bit of cash. I got 33 days. Come on, guys. Somebody stock something. This will help us out. It'll make us a lot of money. It'll make our lives easier. There we go. Selling some furniture. Perfect. All right, we're buying this rod. Nice. All right. So the chickens, 24 chickens here. Perfect. Let's put 2 individuals. Let's actually transfer half these chickens to another spot. This one right here. That's good with me. Make sure we got 2 people in there. Beautiful. All right. Got the chickens going. We have a little bit of cow going now. We're at 3. It would be good to buy another cow if possible. Oh, and that's a beautiful sight. Build that lookout tower, please. Beautiful. All right. We cut out the top part area. That's great. And we'll get this guy down here because they can, this fog right here, they can actually spawn in that little corner there. I'm cool with them spawning here because they'll attack this fortress or they'll come to the center fortress, right? We have multiple fortresses now to defend ourselves from. Got plenty of cash. I'm going to put 4 recruits in each of these barracks. I know it's going to eat into my passive wealth a little, but that's okay. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to recruit 4 archers. Oop, we're out of money. Maybe later. Yeah, we just got hit by a drought. Food seems to be pretty good. Let's actually look at our spoilage to see where we can improve things. No protein spoilage. A lot of food spoilage, but not a whole lot of food. The eggs is really going to help. And so what we want to look at is like how much grain do we have, right? 10,000. So we're going to feed this grain to the chickens and the cows, and we're going to make food. That's money on the table right there. This grain needs to be repurposed, and we need to make lots and lots of food. Now we have low wax, we have low honey. I think we're at a good place, but we should be at a good place. We should have 0 honey and 0 wax if we were like having a real critical issue. But let's add just 2 more apiaries to get this in balance. And I think I am just going to do it here because I don't think we're going to add any more stuff over there. And it looks like storage is doing really decent. 6 children have grown up, 6 were just born. This is beautiful. And we need to switch out that rod. So we're going to reduce our villagers' attack damage, not really necessary, and reduce our luxury consumption, which is great because it means even things like spices last longer. And so for this build, I'm realizing if we want to do the cool fencing, so let's take a peek at like what resources are we going to need for this. If we go with hedge fencing, it's just bricks and gold. But if we go with the wrought iron fence, it's iron, bricks, and gold. Now, I think we're going to do hedge fencing around the residential and iron around this middle part here. So we're just going to need a lot of bricks and a lot of gold. That's not going to be a problem. And I need to switch the carrots up. So the carrots have terrible heat resistance and great frost. So the carrots actually should be like this. And this is great because we have nothing yielding for carrots at this period. This actually is way better. We have all these people sitting around doing nothing during that time. It's the perfect time for them to come harvesting carrots. All right, we're in good shape. Now, I did have to up our flax production because we were running out, so that's great. So we're going to get up the defenses here. I think what we're going to have is... I'm just going to kind of formulate this right here. Perfect. This is looking sharp, looking dapper. Got ourselves a nice little wall around everything. I think we should probably use the big gate for this. Look a little different. Will work. And yeah, we got a little box for it up here just to make things a little sharper. I really do like the corners, the walls. They look so cool. I want to do that here. And we'll have some gates either side of the back here so they can get in and repair stuff. That looks decent. I don't think we're going to need anything over here. Okay. It looks like we did our jobs correctly. We just need to make sure that this gets prioritized. We get some builders out here. But I think we got all the holes, so they can only spawn in this darkness here. And we got a nice little wall around the whole thing. Yeah, nice. We got maples over here, too. This thing's going to pull in some serious wood here. We're going to catch up in no time. And we got 2 points to spend, so let's take a peek. Steel tools for firewood production, cool. Work produce furniture, cool. Not really where I want to focus. I think we need to kind of come back over to our agriculture. So 20% yield on grain. We actually don't really need it. As you see, we had 10,000 grain. Don't really need that one as well. Honey production and wax production and apiaries, 40%. That one's actually worth it to me. 40% would really help us out right now. I forgot all about that tech point. It goes up to 80%. That's a beautiful thing. These guys are cool too. 10% speed of hunters while off-road. Forager work radius increased 20%. 5 more resources gathered per resource store. This is okay. This actually would help you out tremendously, like when you have low herbs, right? But we actually have a lot of herbs. But we're going to get the cheese cutter up. Fur from hunter launch traps. Meat yield from traps. That's pretty cool. Not necessary, though, right? So we have quite a bit of points. I'm trying to actually put these into the proper places. Recovery rate from bedridden. Increase in birth rate. Don't really need it. Let's continue to go and get stone. Alright, so we need some more points. We'll do that next. Yeah, I really like the angles, actually. It does look kind of neat. And then now it's just the beautification stage. So we're getting really, really close to having a good portion of the build done. But there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot to do. We have to hit 12,000 pop. That'd be quite the challenge there. Yeah, we have to hit 2,000 pop. So if I have to add more houses, I will. There's plenty of places I could probably add some more housing. We could honestly add another stack right there if we wanted to. Or I could make another kind of residential area. But we're going to have to increase our food production. So that's where the chickens come into play. Right now the chickens are already helping us. So, oh, the shops are up. Okay, cool. So this is really important. Make sure you're putting bread at a 10-to-1 ratio, because you'll make an insane amount of these pastries. So we're going to go through each of our pastry shops, which are the tier 2 bakeries, and make sure our bread is at a 10-to-1 ratio. Trust me on this. You do not need that many pastries, and they produce an ungodly amount. But we should produce far more bread than we were before now, and yeah, it looks like we're going to need honey. So I'm actually glad we put those points into honey production. I might put another point in, to be quite honest. Oh, beautiful. He's buying my shirts. So much money from shirts. And we got a lot of coal. So that's cool. I think we can get rid of one of the charcoal kilns now, since we have the deep core doing such a great job. Yeah, this deep core is pulling in 212. That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to get 2 tanneries up. We're going to have a lot of hide from these cows, so that's going to be kind of crazy. You can already see, yeah, we upgraded this. I need to get this full. No wonder I didn't have a birth rate. I forgot I upgraded the barn. I have a full team of people in there, even though it only have 3. And we're not gonna do preserved vegetables because you don't need those. I don't like preserving. I only do it for the pastries. It's just a waste of glass in my opinion. I'd rather go make beans or something. All right, let's sell some shirts. And we have more clay than we know what to do with. We need to do pottery for sure. There's really no reason for us not to be doing pottery. 5 people want to come. Perfect. We're going to put a potter up here. Let's check our resources for a bit. Yeah, so we got great iron. We got great coal. Flax is at a good, stable place. Clay is... We have more clay than we know what to do when we're producing so many bricks. It's ungodly. Honey and wax need to be upped. So we're going to put another point in for sure. Get that production up to 80%. That will really help us out. We're getting good yields. 9 and 6 there, you know, 7 and 3 there. On the small fry guys, though, 9 and 4. Not bad. Not bad. 9 and 4 is pretty good. And the pubs are pulling in the money. They're making people happy. Good day. We can upgrade extravagant parks. So money is going to be the real thing that starts to hold us back. I like the pastry shop. I wish the pub had a tier 2. Tier 2 pub actually would make a whole lot of sense. They should add that. Alright, cool. We got little wings up here now. I like it. Angles. Yeah, this is looking sharp. If they come in from the south, they'll come in this way. And we got some defenses here. I like it. Yeah, we're just defending the locations that they're coming from now. I feel like we have more than enough wagons. I'll start adding in trees and other things to make this a little bit better. Let's max out the tannery. Make sure everyone has nice coats. And for... Oh, this... Sometimes it doesn't tell you in the beta if you've run out of sand. So we gotta make sure... Oof, we went through a lot of that, but yeah. That was like 6 people sitting around doing nothing. And that's also a free spot for future buildings. Alright, knowledge point generated. I'm slapping that straight in to 80% honey and wax production. Alright, we're going to do a massive fast forward. So you get the gist. We need to beautify everything. I want to show you guys what it looks like. And I feel like we're in a really good spot. We're at 117. We need to bring this up much higher. We will, once we get all the mansions up and everything. There's a huge probability I'm actually going to need another residential area. I feel like we're doing a good job. I'm going to keep splitting the chicken stacks, right? So we got 12 out of 24. So once these hit 24 out of 24 both, I'll keep splitting. I'm probably going to buy chickens as we go. I'm going to buy more cow as we go. I need to get all of this rolling because it's a massive food supply that we do not have. And for some reason, even though this has 16 workers on it, it got rot. That's weird. This corner one I put more workers on for a reason, and it didn't work. Oh, geez Louise, look at the weed levels there. Okay. Okay, we got some nasty stuff going on over here. This is a toughie. I think we're going to pull off on the grain, since we have grain already, and I'm going to do this here. That should help out. Our fertilities are low. We need more waste. The animals will also help with the waste issue. Well, the lack of waste, I should say. And I think we're going to put one right here. We're going to put 2 of them over here to help with all the waste that will accumulate from all the barns. It would be nice to concentrate the next residential somewhere closer to this. I might have to move these guys back a bit. Maybe I should, yeah, let's actually cancel this real quick. I think the deep core mine might actually cause issues too, but let's put these guys back over here. Yeah, that's good enough. We got a lot of houses upgrading already, just very little. And I definitely want to get this to the academy up to tier 2. It's kind of silly that I haven't. We have a lot of money. Let's put 5 grand in the town. Up this. Let's take a peek around. There was a lot of resources needed for this, so we'll get that going. Okay, so we got a really good passive operation. We got bricks, we got clay, we have logs, but yeah, you can see. I think what we're gonna do is manually cut down some wood. All right, so we got 253 here. Let's boot this up. So 59. 9. Yeah, that's a good spot. Let's put this up a bit more, though. I think we're missing out on some good trees. All right, I think we did it. I think we're in good shape. Everyone has tools. Everyone has everything they need. I really like this trickle effect of people running around. A little bit of rot, but that's okay. It's probably because of how awesome we are, right? And we'll need to upgrade these root cellars over here, too. No meat. Okay, yeah, we're going to have meat. Trust me, once this stuff starts coming in. Beautiful. All right, let's fast forward. All right, on the nose. Look at that. They spawned right here. I'm going to leave this wolf den because this wolf den will start attacking them. So they're coming right at us. Now, I didn't get any of those archers in, so we're going to place 4 archers in each of the barracks. That will give us a good spread. Beautiful. All right, our men should get there first, but if they don't, you know, it was a good run. Ooh, they got battering rams. Okay, yeah, the wolves are helping us out. What's funny is they don't... This guy has some serious armor because he's tanking a wolf. Luckily, they sent him first. You can see that he is really absorbing those shots. We need to get stone walls up sooner rather than later. These are some tough hombres. Now, hopefully, I can get the soldiers into the barracks. But, yeah, you can see the towers are working well together. I feel like this is going to hold pretty decent once I get everyone inside. I'm actually just going to summon all archers
At once.
over here. And we're going to fight this battle together. I'll let the towers do their job. Yeah, look at that. See, they break into the inner area and then the towers just light them up. That is a lot of dudes, though. Okay, let's sit in the back here when we're ready. You need to have them on hold position or they will YOLO in. We're going to lose a few barracks. That's okay. The whole point of this is to protect the town and to protect my sanity for not having to, you know, all the decorations they destroy, you got to rebuild all that crap. Okay. Yeah, so they did a number. They did a number. But once I get the stone up and if I would have had people in the barracks, and I probably need to put more like 6 people in the barracks, that would have been much different. All right, so they're going to come this way. We have multiple points of defense that we can retreat to. Let's get a little bit of distance. Just a little bit of distance so that when they come in here, things are a little different. Okay, so some of them are going south. Okay, cool. So you can see we're fighting back now. Oh, we are slaughtering them. Look at that melting pot right here. So we do have crossbows, and pretty much everyone should have crossbows. So it's like a freaking machine gun over here. Let's speed this up just a tad bit. Yeah, this is beautiful. Now remember, you only need to kill enough of them that they run away. So, dang, dude. we're melting them. We're gonna lose a few gents, but it's not okay. These men need to retreat. Let's try to save their lives. Run back a little bit. Okay, yeah, every one of these guys we kill is a good day for us. Okay, it does look like they are running. Beautiful. That was amazing. So we're going to retreat back to base. That was cool. Now, some of these guys don't have a base to run back to, so that's the problem. We will rebuild everything. All right. We'll get that back up, but we definitely need to get people in there. But we will continue to stack cash. We're doing pretty decent. It looks like we're going through tools really fast now. I'm going to buy a bunch of tools. I do not want to be caught in a situation where my productivity falls. And we have enough hooch that we can do anything we want. That was $3 grand worth of hooch right there. I got some candles to sell. Perfect. All right, beautiful. Let's fast forward this. All right, look at this. So we're building them out. So I'm going to build different parks. So this is one with normal plaza and normal bushes and extravagant flower urns. And like we put a park, we put benches around it. They're not extravagant, but see the extravagant stuff, it looks kind of crazy. I like the individual pieces. I don't necessarily like the extravagant plaza. So this is going to be the eccentric side of town that we just don't talk about, right? But we're doing really good. We got everything kind of pulling out. We're getting things decorated. It's looking really decent. It's going to take a bit of time to accumulate more of the resources. Now, the majority of things are sitting kind of right there at 100. We stack flower urns, we could get everything to 100 real easy, but I am trying to, you know, not stack too much stuff. And the raiders are approaching. Okay. So, we're getting attacked from the dark part of the map. See that? That's beautiful. Now, they're probably going to come down here and hit. We should really boot these barracks up to 6 individuals, I think. Just, you know, that extra firepower is pretty darn important. So we have one team. We have one. Ooh, that's not just one team. We're being hit. 250 raiders are about to hit this. This is going to be crumble. And then the rest of them, we can see up here, they're going to try to strike from the north. So the north now has this spot here. This won't survive too well either. So we're going to have to figure something out. I think we need to rally the men and rally the troops. So what I'm going to do is pray. Okay, so these guys haven't moved yet. This team is coming. It looks like the battering ram is going the opposite direction. These guys are going to be melted by the defenses down here if they don't hit it with a battering ram. But everybody else is going to go to the northern part, and that's going to get tricky. Okay. Oh, nope. They're coming back with a battering ram. But that's cool because their troops are going to get annihilated before they can get down here. I'm most likely going to need to fill out many barracks because we're flat. We don't have elevation bonuses to damage, and that hurts us tremendously. We're shredding there. We got another influx of people there. We got more battering rams here. It looks like we're getting attacked from the... Oof. I think they're going to skirt all the way around some of this stuff. So let's watch the battle down here. And let's see if they can melt this really fast. This is carnage. 2 civilians died at the gates. Alright. Some of them are running out. I think they're trying to hit that tower back here. Yeah, this is actually a pretty decent design. As you can see, we can hit outside of everything. Looks kind of cool when you look at the field of view up there. Alright. They're beating down the gates here. Looks like one super dude is attacking the north part. He's tanking so many rounds that it is impressively scary how strong that guy is. We got some bandits coming in. That gate might need to put some towers up on that northeast gate there. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Yeah, they're getting torn up. Now they're in the gauntlet. See, they break in, and then they go through the gauntlet of pain. And the more of them I kill over here, the better. Because that means there's a higher probability I can just have everybody else rout. All right. So this army is just coming straight in, and they're probably going to come into this area. Where we're pretty well defended here. This is stone now. Now remember, books are amazing. Look at that. 7,400. I'm going to sell everything. Now, hooch, we're going through pretty quick. Oh, there's Gildora's coin purse. We need it. Cool. And a lot of glassware. Okay, awesome. I want to put Gildora's coin purse. So, 341. And we're spending not much. 176 is not a whole lot. So we could definitely hire some more people. The eccentric side of town, I do not like. This side of town, beautiful. You get to see the parallels. Ring that bell. Okay, it looks like we smoked the army over here and lost just one tower. Oh, I see. Their army got diverted to all my all my little towers. That is so funny. My little towers helped saved us in a different way because they diverted the army and allowed us to kill a bunch of them. It looks like the majority of them are running away now. And the few that are staying are getting shot up. Now, we have a bunch trying to steal some stuff. So I think it's time to sally out. Let's muster our men. And they're all kind of cool looking. Alright, cool. Yeah, we can get our dudes out here to start shooting. They're stealing my iron, which is not cool. Never steal a man's iron. Oh, geez, Louise. Alright, they have a lot of archers. I underestimated how many archers they had. We're gonna pull the enemy back and kill them. Get back in the barracks. There we go. Mopping up all the archers now. And this is the group that just robbed us, so we should actually get back most of the things that they stole. Yeah, none of them survived that. Alright, we cleaned them up. This is a little, you know, a little tricky. Oof. Oh, they took a battering ram. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, I need to muster my men out. Oh, there's another wave coming in. Toggle this. It's actually kind of crazy. We're going to muster out and fight where they destroy every single thing I love. Oh, jeez. Oh, I got caught off guard there. Oh, my God. They destroyed it. I mean, that was the point. I didn't want them to destroy every single one of them, though. Okay. Pull back. Pull back. When they bust open that gate. All right. So those guys are running. So we're going to take out the battering ram. Oh, gosh. There's a ton of dudes in there. All right. We're going to lose some good men. But it's all right. That's the defense of the town. We're going to run back to the garrison and bring this horde with us. Nope, they're taking off. They're hightailing it. One of the dudes was down. It says we were defeated. Oh, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, we killed 134 of them. They didn't get any loot. And I killed 134. Like, how did I lose? It'd be like if I attacked you in a parking lot and you like cut off my leg, but like I hurt your car door kind of thing, right? And it's like, I won. I hit your door. I don't know. That don't make no sense. They destroyed a couple towers. I ended the lives of 100 men. Like, yeah. Okay, I lost. All right. Yeah, I'm a real loser here. 7 civilians died, but 100 of them died. I mean, a good trade. To say it. I don't agree with that assessment. Okay, so small parks it is, or small gardens. I'm gonna need to do these one at a time, and I'm gonna design the rest of these in the background, and then I will show you everything when it's done. This is probably gonna take me about 3 or 4 hours. So let's fast forward to the good part. Okay, look what we've done so far. We're getting a lot of it done. I'm trying to push us up to the 2,000 mark. The game is kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, but it gets really difficult at these high levels. Even with the 4090, it gets difficult. I need to get some wells over here for this population. We're doing a good job on everything. So like I said, every area is going to have its own little kind of unique garden-esque thing. I'm just trying out all types of different styles. And we got 2 more to try. I do actually think that this is kind of like my favorite here. Just like, doing just basic plaza or, giving benches like this. It looks really nice. The extravagant stuff doesn't look too good, the tiling at least, but the extravagant small shrubs look amazing. This isn't a bad one either. And then over here, I did a bunch of trees. Then over here, I'm trying out some trees and extravagant ornamental trees to make kind of a little inner garden area. But either way, they all look pretty darn good. I really like the outside of all this. I think it looks immaculate. And we'll keep trekking along, but I might have to get up another residential area if I'm going to have any hope of hitting 2,000 pop. With that said, you can see I set up an entire massive row over here, and we have an army coming in. Now, I have maxed out every single one of these barracks at the low tier 1, and I have amassed an army of archers right here. We're about to get attacked from the northeast, and I'm going to come out and face them. So they're bringing at me a massive army. You can see there's an immense amount of archers, 1 battering ram. Not too bad. If they split up, that would be the best case scenario. They might try to hit down here. There's no archers down there except for in the towers. We are getting a 3rd forester camp up because I'm just going through wood and planks so fast with all these decorations. Oh, and here comes the pain. They're terrorizing the neighborhood. We're going to put them in a hold position, and I'm going to try to meet them outside. Let's see how many of these guys we can shoot down. We have the capacity to retreat, but we need to protect our people because they're getting shot at. Okay, here we go. Now the pain train can start. We should be melting this army as it approaches. We have... Oh god, how many archers? Probably like 50-ish. We're going to lose a few men, but that's okay. The object here is to just mow them down before they get close. Oh my god. This is a travesty. The game is lagging so bad right now. We're going to lose a few people, but yeah, this is pretty funny. It would be kind of cool if we could get up on walls. That's one thing I think I would like, is I wish we could be up on walls from a defended point. They don't shoot over walls too well. But yeah, we'll lose a few people. We're going to mow down the entire army, though. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. We just took them all out right there. Beautiful. All right, let's move to meet the enemy over here.
At the ready.
There we go. Yeah, we're going to kill these guys quick. Oh, and there's the battering ram there. So we're going to... Oh, shit. Another army. So we're going to have to slaughter this army, too. Bit of time to times 2. We can actually get some FPS here. Holy cow, dude. The archer armies are pretty vicious. Between the towers and all these archers, I mean... He's Louise, dude. Oh, my God. Okay, so that was a resounding victory. Yeah, we did. We killed 184 out of 220. So that's, yeah, just rallying out and just destroying them. That seems to be the kicker. They got 3 towers in the north. We need to repair those. All right, but we're getting close. We're getting real close and getting that 2nd work camp up. I just have to wait for them to finish this, but the design is almost done. The real kicker now is waiting till we're at 2,000 population. Now, the majority of these dudes down here are already getting into mansions. We have a lot of room available. Food is becoming an issue. So I did start moving some of this stuff out. We're going to need to get 2 farm fields out. I don't know what we're going to grow down here, but we need to get them going ASAP. I think we might do some leeks here. Some leeks would it'll hurt my fertility, but we sure could use those food bursts. And I may need to get some more bakeries. I did get another bakery up in here, so that should help us. But boards are kind of a difficulty now. We're going through so many of them. I think I went through about 2,000 boards. Pump up the cheese. Let's take a peek and see what's spoiling. Very little is spoiling. This is actually very little. You can see our spoilage is going down. Our production's going up. Consumption's going up. Now, we're going to need a lot more food if we're going to survive this 2,000 pop. But the game, yeah, it's breaking down. Once you go over 1,000, it's not the population, it's the objects. I have like every one of these. I mean, I have a 4090, so I should be able to handle this. So something about objects are hitting the CPU for sure. You're seeing some dives. But yeah, we're doing great. I really do like this though. I think this is great. Looks a lot better during the daytime when there's more sunlight, but we're making progress. We have 84 archers right now. Wow, that was a lot more than 50. Yeah, that's a lot of archers. We got one more, we got 2 more spots to decorate, and then it's just pushing to 2,000 pop. Yeah, chicken zone over here is producing like 259, so that's like 12, that's like 2,500 eggs and like about 1,200 meat. It's not bad. And then the fruit's not bad. The cows are finally almost at 20 out of 20. I think we should be pretty close. 15 out of 20. Once these hit their peak, the milk and meat from that will also give us a big boost. I am having to use policies now. So animal health reduced by 15%, but they generate more meat. We're going to do it. I'm already doing it with overseeding, increasing crop yields, but getting fertility reduction. Just have to do it. Happiness reduced by 30%. Village consumed 50%. That's actually not too bad. This is actually great. Rationing. 30% reduction in happiness is something we could take if we get rid of some of the other stuff that I have. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep trekking along. We have unlocked economic power here pretty soon. One more away from that. But we're going to do another fast forward and show off the final build. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have, please stay tuned because we'll be going over the final thing right now. All right, we are 12 population away. The game is about to explode my computer, but I will show you guys everything. We're going to have to slow this down big time, go into pause mode, scenic mode. Let's take a peek at everything. So a bit of a third area off of the second area over here. Almost everything is a mansion now. Chicken Paradise doing great over here. We added 3 more barns. Everything over there is doing great. Added some decorations to help the industrial area get up. The industrial area is crazy. I actually had to get 3 paper makers up because they're going through so much paper in the guild hall. We got our foundries and everything upgraded to tier 2 over here. What's crazy too is the bricks we're making are just enough to do all the repairs at this point. Upgraded stone walls, increased storage substantially. We have 12 by 24. There are 12 of these entire. It's nuts. It's nuts. So we did, I made a little hamlet over here to help out with the farming. Got everything here to stone, but we did our own individual gardens. Got all 3 monuments up here. This is the guild hall. Got the upgraded school, as you can see, and we almost got the entirety of the tech tree. I have 1 more point left. I am probably going to throw that into better wells again, helping out with getting more water coming in. But holy cow, did we get everything going. It's pretty insane. All 3 of those. Here's our crypt behind, or not a crypt, sorry, but our graveyard behind the Grand Temple. We're using villagers to get hungry 15% slower. Soldier upkeep reduced by 20%, though when you look at how much money I'm making, it is insane. Probably doesn't matter. And of course, we increase the birth rate. Now, I kind of hit a wall when I hit 1500. The immigration waves, they really were not that big, okay? They were not that big. And we're gonna, let's get tier 3. I don't know why it's doing that. I guess the point will go away once I unpause. They weren't that big. So we're relying mostly on our birth rate. I did get this fort maxed out with, oop, looks like somebody died. Now it's maxed out with 24 archers. We have an insane army. Everything is great. Now let's take a closer look at everything because it's got some cool stuff. You know, I did this little crypt here. I really like the way it turned out. I just tried to keep it simple, right? Just keep it simple. And, you know, we got these areas down here. But the scenic views of this build are quite honestly pretty awesome. So this is the inner courtyard of the housing area. My dream come to life right here. And each inner area has its own thing. And like I said, this is the place people do drugs and stare at statues. It's a weird place. I wouldn't go there myself. This is a nice little place. You got the pub, you got a bench and a park in the inner courtyard. So, you know, people come home, they go to the local pub. Over here, you got the local bakery and a statue in the center of town. So, you know, people have this nice little thing in the back. They can go get food. And it's actually kind of cool is when this thing is on, there's actually pies and bread on the outside here. I wish that was actually still showing because it looks really, really cool. This one over here is actually kind of funny because you have you have the dude who comes out here to preach at the altar, and then you have a pub right here. I thought that was kind of a funny juxtaposition. So that's another park. Yeah, sorry, that's the tweaker park right there. Okay, I got turned around. And then I did one that's a little interesting. It's just a bakery. And I decided to just do a pathway with trees. Thought that looked kind of cool. I did something similar over here with trees and another temple and another area. Might be the same one. They're all kind of blended. No, no, that's another one. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just like putting the guy preaching in the booze room out there. This is actually one of my favorites. So at the bottom, I did a modified design where I have the pathway on the outside. I used to have the pathway here. You have a pathway and shrubs on either side. So it looks really cool. People walk around. They got the park right here. You can see they're in it. And there we go. They got the pies and everything is popping out here. So that's our little inner area. Over here is the pub with statues. This is a cool one. I think this is my favorite one, to be quite honest. I think this one's my favorite. And the one I did originally over here, I like this one too with the benches. So out of all of them, actually I like this one too. So out of all of them, those two here and the ones in the back, I think are probably the best. The forts are a little interesting. I thought about doing something cool with them. I put trees and I did get, you know, a gate area around all the nice stuff down here. But yeah, getting out these these hedge fences. Oh man, you can tell I've been at this for a while, dude. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, this was a lot of work. I don't think I've ever hit 2,000 pop in this game ever. I'm a soldier. I've just been soldiering all day to get to this point. Oh, but dang, dude, we did it. It's awesome. Industry is massive. Just so much money. So much money. I have spent hundreds of thousands. I have, oh my God, yeah. I mean, each one of the wonders is like 10 to 15,000 right there. These wonders. And so they're looking pretty darn cool. Yeah, we got ourselves a nice little area in here. You can come and see all the wonders if you want. And, you know, our defenses are holding. So far, they haven't been able to get to us. Just one last hurrah. There we go. We'll get everybody out there. Looks like I have 77 soldiers right now. And they're not too pricey. I will say the knights are the best in the game. If you want to get into really having a good military, get the knights. But yeah, we had to get 3 foresters out to keep up with all the wood consumption. I got 2 people down, 2 mines for sand down here. I've been buying sand. I just actually got the deep sand mine up to keep up with glassware. It's just an insane demand of resources for this many people. And there we are with 2,004 population. Holy freaking cow. But yeah, we got ourselves a really cool army. And it's pretty brutal. I kind of just sit behind the fences, wait for them to break in, and then I just unload line after line of volleys at them, and it pretty much just kills everything. It's stupidly OP, I'm not gonna lie. And that was only a little bit of the force. Okay. Yeah. Okay, there's the rest of the guys going home. But yeah, 24 archers here is pretty good. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Special shout out to my patrons and my members for my channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And everybody, take one last look at this because it is cool. Let's go in the ×1 mode, actually. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I really like this design, actually. It's pretty dope. And you see all the people are outside messing around in the gardens. It's kind of cool, actually. It kind of gets them out and about, makes the town feel a little bit busier. Oh no. I don't know what's going on there. We're gonna ignore that. But yeah, when you zoom in, when people are working, this game is actually really cool looking. No one's working right now. So yeah, we got that going on. But yeah, chicken paradise over here. Got chickens with the peach trees. It's pretty sweet. But yes, everyone, have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.